This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, it's Big O. Protect your home the way we do with Sloman's Home Security, folks. And if you want some great news, how about this? A free doorbell camera. That's right. The first 40 Big O listeners who dial 1-800-ALARM-ME will get this limited time offer of a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your smartphone with installation of your Sloman's Shield. And that's not all, folks. Sloman's is going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 Big O listeners to call 1-800-ALARM-ME, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman's Shield. Keep your family safe like we do here in the Alzigari family. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME.
And protecting your family is your priority. There's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411, and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. You're tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Lando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, lollipop blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, we go. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Canesware at Miami Fanware in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at canesware.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Canesware, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by HialeahParkCasino.com. Enjoy simulcast racing, dining, a magnificent poker room, and a casino with the most popular machines on the market. OKCoin.com. Download the app on iOS, Google Play, or Windows. OKCoin.com with over 50 different coins and incredible staking rewards. Pallet Rack City. There's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Good morning, boys and girls. Hope you all are doing well out there on a beautiful Monday. Good morning to Sean Stanley, the man that masters this program every single day. Always a beautiful thing. We appreciate his work, his tireless work here on a continual basis. Hope you all had a terrific weekend. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. As we all know, lots of you are enjoying the day off today, right? My wife was like in bed. I forgot, like I'm getting up. I look over, I go, why are you still in bed? And she's like, we're off today, remember? And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. It's when you're in radio, it's holidays aren't really holidays. It's one of those deals. You know what I'm saying? Holidays aren't really holidays. You just, oh man, it's just wacky because you work a lot of holidays normally. You know what I mean? I remember when I started in this business, the garbage crap that's here locally on the air doesn't do these kind of things anymore. But the up and coming guys like myself, we would look forward to Christmas and Thanksgiving because we knew Hank was going to take off. We knew Ed Kaplan was going to take off. We knew the first team would take off. So then the rest of us would be, filling in for those days. And so we would actually look forward to holidays in a way. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different world nowadays. But anyway, so welcome aboard, folks. We got a lot of things to do, a lot of things to talk about today, a lot of things to straighten out. Obviously, we got a ton of guests. As always, Ira Winderman will join us at 10:30 to talk a little bit about the Miami Heat as they split their games over the weekend on Friday and Saturday. They defeated the Hawks, but then lost to the Sixers. Man, the offense is bad against the Sixers. Wow, it was ugly. But they're just fine. You know what I think about them. So it's one of those where I thought they were really good. Now I think they got a chance to be great. And we'll get into that also on the show. Omar Kelly, of course, is going to stop by at 11:30 with our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. And then Joe Shad will stop by at 12:30. Okay. Just to give you a little heads up, we will be adding a new insider to the show, another Dolphin insider to the show. So we're going to have 5 different insiders on the show besides myself. So that'll be 6 different people that will be exclusively heard here on the station or on the show, that is, or it is a channel in a way. So yes, on our channel here. And we're working on 2 big time shows that we're going to add, like big time shows. A weekly Kane show, which, we've got one of our upcoming sponsors is Edge Energy Drink. By the way, there it is, a little Edge. I am having a little bit of an edge here myself this morning. And John, thank you, because I think you got me off the Coke, which is Coca-Cola, by the way. Okay, let's just get straight. All right. But anyway, I needed something to kind of replace Coke because I have an addiction to that. I've been drinking it forever. And so it's a dangerous drink, as you all know. And I'm not much of an energy drink guy. I don't like Red Bull. It has like that aftertaste. This thing has no aftertaste, which is awesome. So Edge Energy Drink is going to be a proud sponsor and of the show, and they're going to be a big part of our format. And we've got a lot of things going. The only thing I'm working on right now is finalizing a home for a weekly Kane show and a monthly Dolphin show. And that's the only thing that I've got left, and I will finalize it. I will get it done within the next week or two, and we will announce it, and we will finalize it. So a lot of things happening and developing on the show, and we're just moving forward, and we're going to continue to add more and more. There's a good possibility also, not good, I think it's like 99.9999999%. This show will be going 10 to 2 now. And it will be 4 hours instead of 3. There's just too much content. There's too many insiders. We're not going to stop adding insiders. Actually, we're just going to keep adding. So it's not like the format's going to go backwards. We're just going to go forward. And so we're going to be adding more and more shows. There'll be more shows that are not during this time, by the way. The Kane show that we're going to add will be on drive time. The Dolphin show we're going to add will be late afternoon, early evening type of show. So it'll be a whole different ball game. It'll be appearances too. So this will be an opportunity for you guys to meet. We're going to have a round table monthly with all of our insiders. Okay? That's going to be pretty cool. We're going to be at a sports bar somewhere once a month with all of our insiders and myself, and we're going to have a round table, and we're going to meet there once a month, and Dolphin fans can come from all over and meet. And so, that's so just in case, if you happen to have a business that you think can host these kind of events, you can reach out to me, of course, as always. We've got many ways to reach out to us here on the program. And we do have a business line that you guys can reach out to us on the business line. You can reach out to us on the text line, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to reach out to us on the program, our business line is 786 754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. The business line is only for sponsors, so don't bother calling because you're not going to get a call back or anything like that. So it's just in case if your business you think is fit for something like that, you can reach out to me and we can meet and possibly get it done. But I'm looking forward to it. We're going to add a boatload of stuff to this. We're only getting started. We're only 6 months into this thing. Sean and I we're just scratching the surface on some of the stuff that we're going to add. We're going to add more things. We're working on something else that's enormous. And once we finalize that takes the show to just another level locally and nationally. And so that's going to be good. So we're just going to continue. And thanks to you all for subscribing, for hitting the like button, which is very important that you hit the like button, okay? Very important that you share. Very important you subscribe to our YouTube channel, which last time I checked, I believe we're under 180 for 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. So please, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please help us subscribe to the show. We're 180 away from 10,000, and the 10,000 mark is very important on YouTube. It also allows us to grow too on the channel. And so all of these little things, when you go to Canesware and you mention us, that's enormous. You go to Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines, you buy or lease a vehicle, you mention our name, that's enormous. Okay Coin, by the way, our link is right here on the YouTube page. So if you want to get $50 free of Bitcoin, go ahead, do it now. Bitcoin is still at a really good buying opportunity. Okay, got to get into a little crypto too. We'll have our Coin crypto corner there. So our Coin link is there. They got great staking rates, just amazing. So check it out, our Coin link there below, and you can check it out, which is a beautiful thing. So Heat split over the weekend as they lose to the Sixers, but they defeat the Hawks. The Panthers, God bless, dude. Wow, the Panthers are awesome. I mean, they win 16-3 over the weekend, defeating the Stars 7-1, and then defeating the Blue Jackets 9-2. Just amazing stuff in both games. They are just so awesome. Hockey is going to be so much fun, and next year will be the year that everybody will be in on it, right? Like right now, it's just like the hardcore people, right? We got to get to the playoffs, and then the general fan will start to, get interest, and then they'll get on the bandwagon. And then next year we will have all the people that don't know anything about hockey or are on the fence, and they'll climb on the bandwagon, and it'll go nuts next year. But it'll start in the playoffs, because as the Panthers go deeper, see, the problem is there isn't a lot of knowledge of hockey in this town. So like the people that are on the fence or don't know anything about hockey, those folks, and I'm sorry if I insult you, but it is what it is. Those folks are not very smart, right, in hockey. And like last year, they're going, oh, same old Panthers. They got eliminated in the first round, and it's so short-sighted that they don't realize they played the Lightning, which is the best team in the world. You know what I'm saying? But this year, the way Bob is playing, and then all the other additions that they've added to this team, they're as good or better than the Lightning, and the Lightning know it. And so now it's, hopefully I don't believe they'll run into the Lightning now because they're so high up on the standings now. So they're not going to end up running into the Lightning in the first round anymore. So that'll be fine. But now with a deep run into the playoffs, that'll allow the people on the fence or the ones that don't know anything about hockey to kind of get a little acclimated to it, get on the bandwagon, enjoy, because the hockey playoffs are the best. The best. It's not even close. They are the best playoffs in all of pro sports. It may not be your favorite sport. I understand that. But it's the best, most passionate playoffs that exist. And the games are just absolutely electrifying. And our Panthers are going to be a part of it. So that's going to be really, really cool. The dominance that the Panthers are showing are just sick. They're off tonight, by the way, Tuesday. They will take on Calgary, by the way, at 9 o'clock for that one. So make sure you ride the Panthers hot streak here. Heat are back in action tonight. They take on the Raptors. No Lowry. Bam is listed as questionable for tonight. That's amazing. It's pretty awesome. But this is their third game in 4 nights, too, for the Heat. And you saw how Jimmy responded on the second night of the back-to-back after playing outstanding against Atlanta, so it was a tough night for the offense, man. Jose Lucas gives us a little love on the super chat. He says, why can't the Dolphins make the old unis permanent? We're asked this all the time, and I keep telling you guys there's a certain time limit they have to use the new unis for, and I believe it's around a 7-year period, and I think we're right around there. So they secretly, we won't know, can file for changing the logo again. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. My guess is that there is something brewing behind the scenes and that they're going to go back to the old logo. But of course, they'll put a little bit of a twist to it like they did in the 90s and add their own flavor to it. But still, it'll be in the sense of the original logo. So I think it's coming. I believe that. I think they know that most of the fan base is not really a fan of the logo. Even the people that buy it, even the people that wear it, they know deep down inside, it's not even close. It doesn't deserve to be called the Dolphin logo. Everybody knows it. They know it in that building. Stephen Ross has to know it by now. Garfinkel has to know it by now. They will change it, dude. Relax. It'll happen. They've got bigger problems, okay? Let's solve the head coach issue. Let's get a head coach that can build an offense and build a coaching staff. You know what I mean? Let's get a staff that understands that you need an offensive line in order to succeed, and you need a running game and those kind of things. Let's try to get a coaching staff that has a little common sense on how, a football team needs to be run instead of some loser tyrant that is ignorant as hell and really doesn't have all the answers, but he thinks he does. And so now that you've, torn the scab off that loser and you've dumped his ass, time to move on, okay? And go get a guy that actually knows how to build a team and an offense and maybe knows how to get along with human beings. You know what I mean? Not everybody's the same. You got to know how to push one button or another. One guy needs a swift kick in the ass. The other guy needs a massage. The other guy needs a good yelling. That's just the way it is. You got to know. You got to know how to massage each individual. You know what I'm saying? So all we had here was just another Adam Gase, just different. One guy had hair. One guy was bald. It's just no different. One guy, practiced social distancing. The other guy didn't as much. There's really not much of a difference. They're both idiots. And it's time to move on and those are the problems we got to solve. So if Chris Greer and company, obviously, they got to get this right. And if they want a long-term history here, this is their last move here. They've got to nail this coach. They've got to. So I'm more worried about getting the coach than the logo right now. And nobody, and I mean nobody hates that logo more than I do. Okay? No one. Absolutely no one. Like, there's nothing in the world that I want to wear that stinking logo for anything. I'll tell you a story. I ordered an umbrella on Amazon, and I found an umbrella that had the old Dolphin logo. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. So I bought it. I get it a couple days later. It has the new logo on it. I lose my mind. So I sent back to the people that sold it to me on Amazon, and I said, hey, man, this is false advertising. You guys showed me the old logo. That's the reason why I ordered the umbrella. I don't want the new logo. I don't want this umbrella. I want to send it back to you. And do you have the old logo, or was that false advertising? So they sent me back an email and said, oh, we apologize. We have the original logo. We started sending out the new one because we thought people would rather have the new one. We will keep that umbrella. We will send you the old logo right away. So I ended up getting 2 umbrellas for one. Okay? But you know what I did to that umbrella? I threw it right in the trash. I didn't even offer it to anybody. It's a brand new umbrella. Really good umbrella, by the way. Okay? But that's how much I hate the logo. I threw that bitch in the trash. $34 umbrella. Not a cheapy umbrella. Really good umbrella. That's how much I despise the old logo. I've told the story before. I'm doing a show years ago with Brandon Rodriguez, who was one of my producers a few years back. And we're doing it over at the facility. And we're at QAM. And they come and they give us, free garb, a shirt, a hat, all that. And it has the new logo on it. And, I thank the guy, this, that, whatever. And then he leaves. And when he leaves, I just go to Brendan, here you go. Here, have an extra hat, an extra shirt. I wouldn't want this thing if my life depended on it. So, so trust me, nobody hates the new logo more than I do. I despise the new logo. I think it's an insult. But we need a head coach more. We need a guy who can build an offense more. Brett Franz. I'm Hans, and I'm Franz. I'm Hans, and I'm Brett Franz. And we're here to pump you up. Huge fan, Big O. Thinking about making a show myself and would love to be a guest. Dolphins are only going up from here. Flores is toxic, and Tua gets a fair chance to show us his skills. I agree. Good luck on your show, my brother. But yes, there's no doubt. Tua will get his opportunity too now. And that's very important that you get a coach that understands what you need to do in order to build an offense around Tua. Danny Holmes says, how's it going, Big O? I'm with you on hiring an experienced head coach, but can't say I'm not interested by Mike McDaniel with an experienced DC. What's your thoughts? Danny, the question is, my brother, are we making the same mistake over and over again? Who says that Mike McDaniels can get an experienced defensive coordinator? Who says Mike McDaniels can get an experienced offensive line coach? Who says that Mike McDaniels can get a really good coaching staff together? You want to make the same mistakes over and over again? I don't care what kind of plays he can design. Does he have a Rolodex? And so that's where I disagree with you. I'm not taking a chance on a guy that has zero experience in that sense. And he's a newbie. I mean, he is young. Now, here's something that I wanted to talk about since you kind of led me into this, Danny. I've told you before, I'm a Caldwell guy. I want an experienced coach, one I know that can build staffs over and over again, right? And obviously, a guy like Jim Caldwell could do it. I've mentioned the Jack Del Rio. I know some of you have mentioned the Doug Peterson. These are guys that have been at it. I don't want the assistant that's never been there and hasn't bounced around a lot and doesn't really have a lot of experience. And that's where I got to, tell you, okay, I'm going to go Jim Caldwell. I'm going to go Jack Del Rio. And then my third choice, you know what? I'm going to lean to Brian Daboll. And why am I going to lean to Brian Daboll? And remember what we talked about, right? Remember I told you that I want a guy that's bounced around. So Brian Daboll was with the Pats from 98 to 2001. Then he went over to the Jets from 07 to 08. He was the QB coach. Then from 09 to 010, he was the Browns OC. Then he was the Dolphins OC in 2011. Then he was KC's OC in 2012. Then he was New England's tight ends coach from 13 through 16. Then he was Bama's offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach in 2017. And now he's in the Bills, president from 2018 on. So this is exactly what I've talked about before. The guy that's bounced around, and at times the listener of the show would tell me, well, that's not good. And I'd say, that's great. Well, it sucks. He's bounced around. He bounces around because people hire him because he's good. He's a good coach. And so the fact that he's been all over the place, he may have the Rolodex that Mike McDaniels does not have. So that's where you and I will disagree on this one, Danny, because I don't want the guy that doesn't have experience. So if I'm going to take an assistant coach that has never been a head coach before, Brian Daboll is the one guy that has developed quarterbacks, college and NFL, has been offensive coordinator in different spots, has been a quarterbacks coach, has been a tight ends coach. This is a QB coach. This is a guy that has a ton of experience now, bouncing around all over since 1998. So that's 24 years. That's a quarter century of bouncing around the NFL. That is a crap ton of experience. Brian Daboll is the one guy out of all these candidates that I would say, and yeah, I know he has the two experience too in Alabama, yada, yada, yada. I know all that. But he's the one guy that I would give some hope with. And the fact that Greer knows him obviously has to, a lot of people say he's the guy, by the way. That's what I'm hearing inside the building, that he's the lead dog right now when it's all said and done. So whether they are going to the experienced eventually, that maybe they start adding the Doug Petersons of the world and the Jim Caldwells to this list as they keep adding, because right now we've got Daboll, Kellen Moore, Mike McDaniel, Thomas Brown, Leslie Frazier, Vance Joseph, and Dan Quinn. So Brian Daboll would be that one guy that has bounced around, that has a world of experience on the offensive side. The question is, can he, one, get a quarterbacks coach / offensive coordinator to assist him? Two, can he find the grizzled offensive line coach that will make a huge difference here? And then, of course, he's got to go find a defensive coordinator. And I believe, with the talent that they have on defense, I think it'll be a little easier to find that defensive coordinator for this football team. So Daboll would be the guy that, if I don't go in the direction of the experienced head coach that I know has been there and done it and has built staff after staff and is used to losing, assistants to becoming coordinators or head coaches and replacing them, Brian Daboll would be the one candidate out of all these guys that I would say, okay, Daboll I can consider. Kellen Moore, I'm not interested. Mike McDaniel, when he starts, when he leaves the sucker, then maybe, and he grows up a little bit, then maybe down the line. Thomas Brown, too young, too green. Leslie Frazier and Dan Quinn, been there, done that. Vance Joseph, I think he's a defensive coordinator. Nothing more. I don't like the three other coaches that had head coaching experience. Not a fan of either of those guys. Okay? Especially Frazier and Dan Quinn. Vance, I don't have nearly the same conviction of, I'm done. He had a little bit of a chance, but not much. But Frazier and Dan Quinn, I've seen that record. I've played it. It's scratched. I'm done. I'm putting it in the in the sleeve and never touching it again. It's over. Brian Daboll would be the guy that I would look at. By the way, we do want to remind you that Sloman's Home Security is a proud sponsor of the Big O Show. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Pretty easy number to remember, and it's really an important number because now you're going to be able to protect your family, protect your home, protect your business, protect your pets. We got several dogs at our home, man. You want to protect, man, and the alarm is what it protects. Although if you get past the alarm, you're going to have to deal with two badass dogs in my house. But outside of that, 1-800-ALARM-ME, baby, is what you want, Sloman's Home Security. And right now, folks, you get a free doorbell camera. Yes, I love the doorbell camera. You get to see people delivering packages. Sometimes, some of these people delivering packages, like you tell, hey, can you put it a little closer to the left here? So that way it's away from the street and, no porch pirates and the rain and this and that. Or, of course, if they're delivering some food, hey, just leave it there. I'm a couple minutes away from the house. I'll get it. Thank you so much. That's what you love. You always have eyes on your home, man. Cameras all over, inside, outside. Sloman's Home Security, that's what it's all about, folks. And right now, for the first 40 Big O listeners, all right, you will get a free doorbell camera. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME for a limited time, and this doorbell camera connects directly to your smartphone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. And we're going to give you a free customized home security system plus professional installation when you use our low-cost central station monitoring. So you're going to get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 Big O listeners to call 1-800-ALARM-ME, you're going to receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Tell them Big O sent you. 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME for Sloman's Shield. Give me 2 minutes. Ira Winderman will join us in 2 minutes. We will talk. And we'll talk a little basketball, a little Miami Heat with the Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. While we break, I enjoy my biscuit. Back with more.
When you're ready to purchase a new home loan or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family. The Big O Radio Show is looking for an experienced salesperson in the radio or TV business. The candidate must have at least 5 years of sales experience in the broadcast business over the last 10 years. Please email your phone number and resume to bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. That's bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Looking for an aggressive person who can help our platform expand into many avenues in our business. Reach out if you are the person that's able to make the difference. The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by Sports Grill. Good food, good drinks, good friends. Craig Zinn Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealership in the Southeast United States. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department. The FLPD is hiring. Go to FLPDjobs.com.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend that is Ira Winderman. Good morning, Ira. How are you doing, my friend?
Good morning, sir. Getting ready for what I thought was going to be a Kyle Lowry reunion game. Instead, it looks like it'll be Bam Day tonight at FTX Arena. Be nice to get Bam back. Be nice to get back on track. Interesting day. Kyle Guy going to be signed to a two-way. So really a busier weekend than I would have thought for the Miami Heat. And wheels still are turning even at this point in the season.
So let me ask you, the personal reasons, is it just, rest? What's,
No, it's a family issue. It's a family issue that he has to tend to. I've been told he should be back by midweek. So probably just one game. They play the Trailblazers on Wednesday. And then, because we always play Atlanta, we're going back to Atlanta for a Friday game there. Third time in a period of 9 days. Nothing major there. But Big O, again, I've spoken to you all the time, and our Acura Pembroke Pines reports about this. The Heat have not had their big three together, Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo, since November 27th. I want to see what it looks like. I've sort of forgotten, and I think you do need to build continuity, obviously going to the playoffs, Big O, but also even going into the February 10th trading deadline, just to make sure all the pieces work, are gelling together, or if you need to make subtle tweaks. So hopefully sooner rather than later, hopefully this week, we see Lowry, we see Butler, we see Adebayo on the same court in the same lineup for the Miami Heat.
The only reason I asked, because it is the third game in 4 nights. That's why I thought maybe they were like, because look at Jimmy. Jimmy was out, and then you saw in the second game on the back-to-back against the Sixers, he just wasn't the same player on a back-to-back night, and the whole offense. I mean, the whole offense.
Well, same thing for Kyle. Kyle wasn't the same player. So I think if you were going to hold Kyle out for rest, it would have been on the second night of a back-to-back. What's interesting is this. They have 3 games left against the Raptors. Every one of those games is the second night of a back-to-back. And Kyle Lowry's first visit back to Toronto is the end of 4 games in 5 nights. The NBA doesn't schedule those anymore. But because of the postponed game in San Antonio, when they had to rework the schedule, they did that. So there are some busy times coming up. This is where the depth comes into play. Tonight, Gabe Vincent did not play at all on Saturday. He'll probably be in the starting lineup tonight.
By the way, I laugh because you and I, we've been together for a long time doing this crap. And I laugh when we were talking about 4th and 5 nights, because all I think of is Ed Kaplan. Because that was the betting game for Ed Kaplan. He always would mention that third game, 4 nights. He'd say, "Oh, here's where you can really make some money on the games here, because usually this happens." And Ed used to track every single game. He'd write every box score out himself and everything, so it'd be all burned into his mind. You know what I mean? And so when you were talking about that, and yes, that's a gambling game right there.
Oh, absolutely. Or what we call, as far as the business itself, a scheduled loss. So you have to be careful of those. Again, you and I have been talking for weeks here in our Acura Pembroke Pines reports about the Heat depth. We'll see it tonight. Gabe Vincent has been pretty good this year. Now, as a starting point guard, I don't know, going against Fred VanVleet, but, we'll get an opportunity to see that also. So, again, a lot of guys who might not play otherwise on these back-to-backs, 4 and 5 nights, 3rd and 4 nights, you're going to see a little bit more of that, and that's good for the Heat because this is an older roster.
All right, so now let me go through all of this, because this seems like it ends up becoming, there's a little negative, but there's a lot of positive. There's a reason why things happen, and then there's a domino effect to all of this, and I'm talking all about Kyle Guy. Because the Garrett kid, we all know that he's offensively, he's a little more challenged. We know he's more of a defensive player, right? So in comes Kyle Guy, lights it up. They love him. They love his moxie, all of that. Okay, so you think about it. Down the line, you hope Oladipo's going to come back, so you're going to add another defensive guy on the perimeter anyways. And then you see the struggles with Duncan now, 43 games into the season. And so now you're going, well, yeah, I know Strus is doing his job and Gabe Vincent is doing his job and Caleb is doing his job. But, man, now look at this Kyle Guy kid. He fell into our laps. And on these nights where, look at what Duncan did in these 2 back-to-back nights, the Kyle Guys of the world might be the guy that you can reach for deep in the bench to say, hey, we need a little shooting right now. Let's go with Kyle. And then the Garrett thing, he's going to stay anyways because he's got a rehab.
Right.
He'll switch his contract over to the G League permanently. Right. So you still kind of control everything. So in a way, it almost feels like dominoes fell right in place for Miami.
Yeah, I'd agree. A win-win situation. There's a couple of things in play here. I'm not sure Duncan Robinson works as a reserve. Again, he had 2 very good seasons as a starter when he was starting with the main core of this roster. I do think when everyone's back in place, there's a chance Eric Spoelstra at least goes back to that. Because Big O, the last 2 games, Duncan Robinson scored 2 points. Even in his worst of times, it was never like this. He would give you buckets. He might not shoot a great 3-point percentage, but he would give you baskets. That's a concern of mine. On Saturday, their January 15th, became the first day of the season he could be traded. Not a big deal, more administrative, but that's the day he becomes free to become dealt. One of the Ask Ira questions I'm working on for tomorrow's mailbag is someone told me, that Duncan Robinson contract, they made a huge mistake. No. And we've spoken about this in our midweek show also. A $15, $16, $17 million contract is right in your wheelhouse. You can package that with other players. It's a tradable contract. Sometimes it's more about the contract than about the player anyway. So you know what? If the right deal comes along, Jeremy Grant for Duncan Robinson, there are possibilities that you might say, maybe we give that a little bit of a thought. That's their tradable contract. No one's taking Kyle Lowry's $85 million 3-year deal, or else he would have got that offer somewhere else. He did not. Bam Adebayo, max scale coming off the injury. Jimmy Butler, a contract that's going to pay him until he's 38 years old. You want to have contracts in your wheelhouse. I think the Heat at least need to try to get back to the lineup that got them pretty close to the NBA championship in 2020. Give Duncan a run there. Some guys just aren't tuned to be bench players. I think Max Strus can do that. Gabe Vincent can do that. Kyle Guy can do that. So maybe you need to get Duncan back into his sweet spot. Maybe tonight, maybe when Kyle Lowry comes back.
Or maybe Duncan isn't a pressure player. I mean, it's 43 games in. You're shooting 34% from 3-point range. You have sucked as a starter. You have sucked off the bench. You have not developed any consistency since you signed that contract. And I'm just wondering, is the contract eating him up like Pac-Man? Because, Ira, if he doesn't respond, that's the optics. The optics are you gave him money and he folded like a cheap tent. And
I don't see that. I don't see that in his makeup for this reason. When Hassan Whiteside was putting together double-doubles and telling him no one does it with blocks, he was playing for his contract. At no point did I ever feel Duncan was playing for his contract. He was just playing. And for 2 years, he was terrific. So again, Big O, are you going to believe the 170 straight games he started, or are you going to believe a 40-game sample size?
I don't know. That's the question. I don't know what to believe right now. And he has to, in the next 30-something games, he has to show us.
Oh, I think less than the next 30. I'm going to disagree with the Big O here. I'm going to say the next 15 or 20, because February 10th is your last chance to make hay this season with the trading deadline. So I'd like to see him come around. So, look, if you're saying he's folding under the pressure, the pressure
he is right now.
The pressure is only going to increase as we get closer to the trading deadline. Because you know what? Not only is he here in a winning culture in Miami, he's in Miami. And he's facing the possibility of being in Sacramento or being in Detroit or being in some other cold weather city.
Pressure builds. Pressure builds.
The plot thickens. I still think you get him back in that starting lineup, BC, because there have been too many games in recent years, Big O, where the Heat would start a home game with the Duncan 3 and it would all be uphill, all uphill from there in a good position. So I think you need to give it a little bit more time. Can you be concerned? Yes. We are at the point of concern. There's no doubt about that. At the point of panic, I don't think we're there yet.
You know, the funny thing is with Duncan is, dude, we're asking you for one. You only have one job. You only do one thing. You know, it's like with other players at times over the years, wow, man, this guy's really struggling on defense. Okay, but his offense is all right. Hey, wow, this guy's struggling on offense. Hey, but his defense is all right. It's still there. It's not affecting his defense. And we've seen those kind of players over the years. This dude has one job only, and he can't do his job. And that's the problem that I have with it. And that's where I think over the next few games, we need to find out, dude, are you going to wake up or not? Because you really have to start to worry that he's not responding to expect. It's kind of like I put on Brian Flores. He took over with, no talent that first year. They won the 5 games. Okay. Then the next year, they're not expecting much. You win 10. Now you come back. Now you have expectations. And now the pressure's different. Now they're expecting you to produce, and you're not able to do it. And that's where I think what's going on with Duncan now. Now it's the expectations are there now. This is what you're supposed to be, and you're not living up to it.
And the one thing I would add in there, Big O, is this, and especially if you go to the arena and you get a wider view than TV. Our opposing defense is still respecting him to the degree that their defense is slanted, that the gravity still goes in that direction. If it does, there's 2 good things there. 1, he's occupying a second defender. But 2, other teams respect him to the degree they might want him. They still might respect him as a shooter. When the gravity is lost, that's when you're most concerned. It hasn't happened yet, but I certainly agree if that starts coming, then they pay more attention to a Max Strus or someone else, then you got a problem.
And also shows you the flip side of what you just said, to play devil's advocate. It also shows you that he doesn't respond to when he becomes a focused player, a guy that, we got to stop him. Now you're not good enough now to overcome that. And that's what shows you when you're a Dale Ellis or a Reggie Miller or a Steph Curry or whatever over the years. When you're a great shooter, you're a great shooter, and they know you're going to shoot. And no matter what, you're going to shoot, and it's going to happen. Whether you were John Sunvold or not, you knew that he was going to shoot and he was going to make the shot. That's the threshold.
Well, you know what? By the time we get back on Wednesday, and I'm talking to Clay at 9 a.m. on the Sloman's Home Shield, security show on our Inside the Paint, we might have a different story. It really is game by game, because you remember the game in Phoenix. He's 8 of 16 in threes, and all is good in his world. And that's what happens. That's what happens when you're a home run or strikeout player. When you're Giancarlo Stanton, you're either great because you're hitting home runs, or you're getting ripped by the tabloids because you went 0 for 5 and you struck out on breaking balls all the time. That's what happens. The NBA equivalent of a home run hitter is a 3-point shooter. It does become game by game. Let's see what happens tonight. We'll talk about it on Wednesday.
By the way, the Kyle Guy thing, really, we were headed there, right? And if not, here's the best part for Kyle Guy. The fact that Miami is known around the world for producing players out of nothing, all of a sudden, they developed this guy. Eyes all over the league are going, well, wait a minute, dude. The Heat got him. And if the Heat got him and they're developing, he's playing, he's a player. Let's see if they let him go, because we're going to scoop him up. I'm sure that all of a sudden Kyle Guy probably had some interest now lined up after this.
He did, and that's why I'm wondering also, even like you said, Marcus Garrett's undergoing the wrist surgery, and he's going to work with the Heat. But there might be someone come next summer league who even says, you know what? We'll give him a few dollars. We'll give him $50,000. We'll give him $100, because if they liked him that much undrafted out of Kansas, maybe we will take a look. Look, at the end of the day, Patrick Beverley got away. At the end of the day, teams took him off the Heat roster also. You can't keep everyone. And when you're in a win now mode, Big O, with 36-year-old PJ Tucker, 35-year-old Kyle Lowry, a bunch of 32-year-old guys, you have to live in the moment. In this moment, Kyle Guy does one NBA skill at an elite level with the threes. Marcus Garrett was trending toward his defense, but not there yet. You take the known quantity. That's why they did that. And again, that's your second two-way contract. Your first two-way contract is, I almost wish there was an NBA award two-way contract of the year, because I'm not so sure that anyone would beat out Caleb Martin on that two-way contract.
Yeah. Man, Caleb has been, what a find.
Yes. What energy, what absolute you need when it's all going rough and you have injuries, to have a guy like that come in and be the energizer. He's going to be on this team for years to come. I can guarantee that.
Total Heat player, bro. You can just see it, and that is the kind of guy they salivate for. They give up a first rounder for a guy like that.
Right.
Actually, to be honest with you, because now, as I told you last week, I went from, okay, I'm terrified of the Jimmy contract at the back end.
Right.
But I know this year they can make a deep run of the Eastern Conference. And I told you last week, no way. I think this is a championship caliber team with the depth that they have. Did they even realize how deep they could become? I don't think so, right?
No, and here's the other thing. With the Kevin Durant injury and the fact he's going to be out 6 weeks till after the All-Star break, most likely, the number 1 seed is there for the taking for the Miami Heat. Yeah. Yes, they're 2 games behind the Bulls, but they're 2-0 against the Bulls. Yes, they already played Brooklyn once. They beat them once. They've already, they've taken care of Milwaukee. They've shown that they could beat the Bucks. There's no reason not to think the Heat can win the East. Well, all of a sudden, you're playing a number 8 or 7 seed. It's a lot different than playing Milwaukee in the first round last year. So there's factors in play. Eric Spoelstra really doesn't want to coach the All-Star game in Cleveland on February 20th. As a matter of fact, if I say, if you had a choice of either being in Cleveland on February 20th or anywhere else in the world, you take the field.
Yes.
You take anywhere else. So I almost wonder when we get to that early February cutoff point where Eric's going to be as far as maybe half a game out right then, it'll be a little better. And then knowing Spo, if they finish first or second in the East, he'll lament this. We don't know our playoff opponent. We got to wait to the play-in round. We can't prepare ahead of time. There'll always be something. But Big O, the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, with the easiest remaining schedule in the Eastern Conference, it's certainly in their wheelhouse. And Big O, let's be honest, between you and me and Clay Ferraro on our Wednesday show, no one forecast the Heat to be number 1 in the East this season. Not after that playoff struggle last year. Not after being a number 6 seed. So this is trending in a nice place. Look, it's not the Panthers. They're there. It's theirs to keep. The Heat will have to work to get there. But how crazy is it that down here with our craptastic summer and fall sports, we could wind up with the number 1 seeds in 2 different winter sports, and it could happen.
Yeah, the Heat are good. The Panthers are better. I mean, it's
Very
just
good, yes.
It's sick. Our winter sports are just absolutely awesome, and we could have 2 parades this year. Seriously, we could have 2 parades for both those teams this summer.
They should have the Heat. They should have the Heat come up 95 from south of Miami. The Panthers go there and sort of just meet like in the middle, maybe the Aventura Mall or at Gulfstream or something like that. Yeah,
I like that. That's a really good idea right there, man. That'll be a lot of fun. All right, follow him on Twitter at Ira Heapy. Catch his work at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. More importantly, subscribe like I do. Support our local journalists. What are you working on the Sentinel, my friend, leading up to the game?
I have a really fun story because sometimes you got to have fun in sports. Before every Heat home game, Anthony Carter and PJ Tucker play this one-on-one game to the death of the 2 of them. Anthony Carter's 46, but he doesn't take nothing from no one. I talked to both of them about what it's like there. Anthony Carter insists he wins 6 out of every 10 games. PJ Tucker said Anthony Carter must be on drugs if he thinks that. If you get to FTX Arena early, about 45 minutes left in the pregame shot clock, you can watch the 2 of them go at it. And the reason I wrote the story was this. We know in baseball that pitchers, some old guy will throw batting practice from 60 feet. He'll lob them in there. They'll hit home runs. So I asked Anthony Carter, are you afraid of breaking PJ Tucker's confidence? And he goes, you kidding? People are watching us. I'm going to play the top of my game. I'm telling you, there is blood in those games. So there's a picture at sunsentinel.com. I shot a bunch of photos of them playing pregame. It's a really fun story. Later in the day, I'll have a notebook about what's going on. Heat, Raptors, who's in, who's out. I think Bam will wind up playing tonight. We have to see on some other stuff, minor Heat injuries. So big game coming up. You want the bounce back from Philadelphia. We'll have coverage in tomorrow's Sun Sentinel also. And then when we get back here Wednesday, 9 o'clock on the Sloman Home Security, Home Shield, Inside the Paint show, we'll have a better sense if Philly was just a blip or if we have concerns. I personally think just a blip.
So do I. I think it's just a blip. I'm with you there. Bob McAdoo used to take everybody's money, so now we got
that was shooting games. There was no blood in that. In this, there will be blood. Go to sunsentinel.com. I think you'll enjoy it. Thanks, Big O.
Good stuff. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heapbeat. Ira, thank you as always, my friend. Appreciate it. You got it. He'll be back on Wednesday for the Sloman's Home Security Inside the Paint show with Clay Ferraro. How about that? And we got more stuff coming on the Heat side too, by the way. We got stuff brewing all over, bro. All over. This thing's going to grow. All right. That was Ira Winderman.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA Report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Zinn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
All right, there you are. It's a good thing. Thank you. Don't forget, Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises, a proud sponsor of our program. Folks, listen, if your roof is leaking, okay, or if you're about to sell your home or you're about to buy a home, you need the roof inspected, maybe your business, your home, you need to replace that roof, repair it, you still have a blue tarp, I want you to call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com. There's the number right there on the screen, 954-735-9826. You're going to love Tommy. He's just a fantastic individual, great family man. The entire family listens to the show. They're big sponsors of the show. They're big time Miami fans. So listen, support the people that support us. If you have roof issues, please call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises, AAA rating from the Better Business Bureau. They've been at this for over a quarter century, man, for over 25 years. They've earned that AAA plus rating. Highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All the work is fully guaranteed with you, the customer's complete satisfaction. That's the kind of confidence they have in the service that they provide. So please, call him, Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises. Here's his cell number. Call him. Ask for the owner, Tommy. 954-735-9826. That's 954-735-9826 for Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises. This thing's good, man. Good job, John. Edge. I like it. Hunter Butler logo looks like the tubby whale. You're talking about the dolphin logo. Yes, sir. And thank you for the love on the super chat. Shock TV says Mike McDaniel for me. Well, I already talked about that earlier. You don't even know if he can build a staff. It's it's funny how people, you end up falling for the same thing over and over again and making the same mistakes. And we just don't know if he can build a staff. You're going to take a chance on that? I wouldn't, at least. Don't forget, by the way, if you can also make a donation through Cash App or Venmo. That's Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show for Cash App or Venmo. I told you that our link below for OK Coin is there if you want to get $50 free of Bitcoin. And at OK Coin, folks, they've got all kinds of great opportunities for staking. And right now, listen, Cardano is one that we've been talking about for a while now, for a year now. We've been talking about Cardano and how I'm a big Cardano guy. And Cardano's, it's interesting. And let's have a little okcoin.com crypto corner right now. And when we talk about Cardano, and Cardano, by the way, is up to $1.47. It was up to almost $1.54 just a little while ago. It's up 4.5% right now, and it's been climbing, actually. Okay, if you really look at it, it was as low as $1.12 a week ago. A week ago today, it was $1.12. Now it's $1.47, and it is climbing. Cardano, remember, Cardano was in the pennies, and it went all the way up to $1. And then a lot of people got in, and I'm one of the ones that got in around the 90 cent to $1 mark. And then it soared to over $2. And then it came back down again. So a lot of people, those of you that FOMO'd in at $1.60, $1.80, $2, $2.10, you got pissed off when it came back down. It went down almost to under $1 too. Right? And so instead of panicking and selling, what you were supposed to do, what did we tell you? Buy the effing dip. Okay? So you buy when it goes back down again. That's what I did. When it went back down right around $1, 95 cents, $1.02, $1.04, I bought more. And recently, in the last couple of weeks, when it's been at $1.12, at $1.14, $1.16, I bought more. I didn't panic. I bought more because I'm patient. Cardano has got an ecosystem that is explosive. We've already been talking about Sunday Swap, right? Sunday Swap comes out the 20th of this month finally. The DAX and the DEPs and everything are going to explode. More are going to be added now with Sunday Swap. You know, when they added Goguen and their smart contracts, they're adding it by piecemeal. And they're not like Solana had this attack that has had a couple of times has bogged down the system. Cardano's not at that point, so they're doing it slowly. And that's what I love about Charles, because he's really smart, he's deliberate, he is what's it called? Patient. And I tell you all the time in the crypto game, you must be patient. The Cardano ecosystem and their entire blockchain is going to explode. And what you should have been doing is what I've talked about in months past. You should have been accumulating Cardano. Cardano's going to soar, bro. And it's going to go over $10, I believe. But you have to be patient. You have to hang in there. And you cannot get frustrated with the fluctuations. And when something goes from 2 cents, 10 cents to $1, and you can't, and then it shoots up to 2 something, you've got to expect it to come back down because it's hard to hold up. Bitcoin goes to 65,000, comes back down again. Eventually it finds its floor, and then it starts to build it back up again, and it will soar past 65. Cardano will soar past 220 for sure. But it's one of those things that when it goes up too fast, too many people FOMO'd in, and then you're going to have a whole bunch of people going out because the people that made money from early are going to get out. The people that made a little money from the $1 to $2 are going to get out, or the people that invested in Bitcoin at 45,000 and went to 65,000, they put 3 million in, they're taking it out. So it's all kinds of people with all kinds of agendas that are involved in investing. But those of us that hodl, that buy on the dips, that hold and wait, and as long as you're patient, don't use the money you need for rent. Don't use the money you need for mortgage. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy that loves crypto, but this is how I do it. You do it however you want, but I don't use my mortgage money. I don't use the money that I put food on the table. I don't use any of that money. I use extra income that I develop and that I can invest and risk. That way I can be patient and let it sit when I have to. Star Atlas, another one that I have on OKCoin, it's at 7.5 cents right now. I bought a bunch of it at 12 and 13 cents. What do you think I'm doing? Panicking? No, I'm scooping up the stuff at 7.5 and 8%, 8 cents and 9. I'm lowering my overall price. So when Star Atlas takes off a year from now, because I know it's not going to be now, I'm going to be sitting pretty. But you have to have patience. And if you have patience with Cardano and you kept buying on the dips, you are the one that right now, even at $1.50, $1.47, you're loving it because so did I. I bought more at $1.12 and $1.14, $1.16, $1.17. I kept scooping it up. So everything right now, if I felt like it, I could sell a bunch of it and make some money. But I'm not doing that. I'm going to sit and let it soar. And while I'm letting it soar, I'm going to stake it on OKCoin for, you know how much? 5.85%, just under 6%. So while I'm waiting for it to soar and while it's consolidating and trading sideways, I'm earning nearly 6% interest. I'm earning more Cardano along the way. So whenever it does soar, what I bought on top of what I earned in interest, boom. That's how you do it, folks. So when it trades sideways, others are complaining, but if you staked it on OKCoin, you're making extra. So if you bought Polygon on OKCoin, you know what you're getting? You're getting 15.49% interest. If you bought Polkadot on OKCoin, you're getting 12.33% interest. Cosmos, 11.79. Tron, 8%. Avalanche, which is a monster, 6.7%. Cardano, 5.8%. Algorand, 5.7%. Solana, 5.3%. See what I'm saying? So even when things trade sideways, you're still gaining percentage, and you're adding more Solana and Avalanche. You're adding more. It's beautiful, man. Our link for OKCoin is there on the YouTube page. If you want to use that link, you will get $50 free of Bitcoin, and do it now before it soars to 60-something thousand, 70-something thousand, 80-something thousand. Get it now at 43. Take advantage. Not a financial advisor, just a guy that loves crypto. There you go. Andres is saying, Moon River. Yes. Double entendre there, just in case. What's Cardano? Cardano is a blockchain. Let's put it that way. Okay. They've got NFTs. They've got dApps. They got DEX. They've got all kinds of stuff going on. Businesses being built on it. They're going to be the bank for an entire continent in Africa. They are helping the educational system of that country too, because they don't have the tools. So their kids now, which I think it's nearly like 10 million, will be on that online to be able to learn and all of that. So Cardano does a lot of things. You got to look into it. That's what I always say. Do your own homework. Very important. All right, 1 hour down. Hour number 2 is next.
South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
When you're ready to purchase a new home loan or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727, or online at adreamlending.com. When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411, and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family. The Big O Radio Show is looking for an experienced salesperson in the radio or TV business. The candidate must have at least 5 years of sales experience in the broadcast business over the last 10 years. Please email your phone number and resume to bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. That's bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Looking for an aggressive person who can help our platform expand into many avenues in our business. Reach out if you are the person that's able to make the difference.
Oh, great. You got a doorbell camera. Now you got a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
No.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Get out of my house!
Ooh, Mom's jewelry. There goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. At Sloman's, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, a free doorbell camera.
Free?
One that'll actually work for you. It's not total security unless it's the Sloman Shield. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by EJDConstruction.com, where you can trust their team of construction experts. American Dream Lending. Go to adreamlending.com. Stop dreaming and start living your best life. Perdermo Cigars. Experience a Perdermo way. Go to PerdermoCigars.com.
When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty, hour number 2, baby. Light it up. Perdomo Cigars. Love it. Love it. By the way, Vinatra, I see you there on the chat board. Thank you for chiming in. Appreciate it. He says, Ada finally got those smart contracts up to par. It's only taken them 4 years so far. Vinatra, you got to remember, bro, okay? This happens a lot with people. You don't live in reality. This is not easy. Bitcoin wants to scale faster. It can't. And it keeps trying. It keeps promising, and it can't. Ethereum is trying to add E2 to be a layer 2, and that's taken forever. Okay. Solana, because of the amount that they've grown, they've had issues with producing transactions. They've had what's that called? The slowdowns in their system to a crawl because they could not handle the amount of transactions. Thorchain got hacked twice and had to replace the 12 million that they lost, and they had the funds for it, but that's part of the process. None of this is easy, my brother. We're in the infancy stages of all of this. This is being built now. You are being absolutely unrealistic. These are all pioneers. This is why I'm enormous on Polkadot, because Polkadot and their parachains are going to allow them, and they can just keep adding more and more parachains, which will allow them to scale faster, to be able to do more contracts and more transactions. But these are things. This is Vintara. This is why I keep saying to people, do your homework. Okay? It's not just Cardano. Everyone has issues because this is new. Everybody's trying to get off the ground. Everybody's trying to establish everything. Even a monster like ETH doesn't have everything together yet. Bitcoin doesn't have everything together. And because of that technology, which is older, that's why Dogecoin is another one that people talk about. And Elon Musk talks about how he's working with them to try to scale it and make it faster. And they can't, because there's, from what, at least I'm not that smart, but at least the people that are smart, okay, like Charles Hodgkinson, would tell you there's no way you can ever get that thing up to par because the technology is so behind. But people don't know that about Doge. They just know it's a meme coin, so they go with it. But they don't really know about it. That's the difference. You have to really understand what's going on. So to, take a shot at Cardano, dude, I can tell you about several companies that are having, their ups and downs because it's kind of part of being a new company. Anybody ever run a business and own a business, new business, you're going to make a ton of mistakes. And especially in this, which you are a pioneer in all of this. That's what all of these blockchains are. They're pioneers. So you got to expect the Harmonies of the world to, struggle, BitTorrents and all that. They're all going to go through their phases. I'm a big BitTorrent guy, and it's going to take them a while, but I know I'm patient. You got to understand what's going on, man. Richard Kuchikian says, good morning, Big O. Ross has never hired an experienced and successful head coach. I doubt his hires, his CEOs, or his other companies he hires with the same philosophy. Is he a Jet fan? Well, Ricardo, remember, the Lions, the Ford family, it's not like they're, working for Chevy or Buick Oldsmobile or something. You know what I'm saying? 70 years they've been screwing it up. It's not an easy thing, man. The Bengals, look, they're having success now that they haven't had in a long, long time. Some teams go through it, man. And unfortunately, our team has been going through it for a long time. So, Reginald says, Ross coming back to ask the taxpayer to reduce property taxes for racetrack and tennis court development at Hard Rock. More money for taxpayers for billionaire pockets. Well, that's where the laws have to change, my man. I mean, the prior administration was kind of gearing up for all the people that have the higher incomes. So they give all those folks those tax breaks. You can't blame Ross or anybody else because those laws are set. And the last guy that was in was making laws that were suited for the people with high tax brackets, not you and me, but those folks. So, Reginald, what are you going to do, my brother? I think these guys are now trying to change those laws. It's just the way it is, dude. Billionaires get breaks that you and I will never get. Blame the system. You know how they say, what is it? Don't hold it against the player, right? Or whatever it is, right? Because the player's got game, and you're watching that dude pick up one girl after. Don't hate the player because he's got game. If you're a billionaire, what are you going to do? You're going to take advantage of the laws that are already in place. It's just the way it is, dude. I mean, so it went on right before our eyes. D-Mello Big O. I hope they don't take Reggie McKenzie away from us. Shaking my head. My mind works a little different than some, right? And so I see that story. This is just me, okay? I'm cynical. I've been in this business. This is my 32nd year. The Bears interviewed Flo. I'm just wondering if they brought Reggie McKenzie over to say, yeah, we're interviewing for general manager. Hey, but tell us about Flo. I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying, okay? I'm just throwing that out there. All right? I just get that feeling, And what does Reggie McKenzie do when they ask him about Flo? Does he say, oh, yeah, no, this guy's a first-class a-hole. Yeah, no, he was impossible to work with, this, that. Does he actually tell them the truth? And do they know some of the truth of what happened behind the scenes? And they're testing Reggie to see if Reggie will be honest to them about how bad Flo was behind the scenes. That's just me. I don't think they were really hiring Reggie McKenzie. I think they're kind of going through the motions and bringing out candidates, and he should be a candidate. But there's almost a part of me that they were like kind of doing it to, I'm just saying. Coach Flo should get back to the Patriots. He probably will be running back to Daddy and work for Daddy soon. That's probably what's going to end up happening. I don't believe anybody's hiring Flo, to be quite honest. I think it's going to get out. I think it's already out about what's gone on. So just saying. That to me, that's when my cynical mind went through the first thing. When I saw that they had interviewed Flo and then they Reggie McKenzie. So I just was like, oh, no, we got to follow up with this. We got to find out what the hell's going on with this guy. So I think they're kind of doing their due diligence more about Flo than anything else. That's just me. Flo will land with the G-Men where he can medal with glee. Yeah. Yeah, no, he's going to be awesome. Like all the former Dolphin head coaches that have been fired here, they've all gone on to have so much success at other places as head coaches. All the Dolphin coaches, every single one of them, after they left here, man, they went on to have a ton of success. If Flo really stopped talking to his assistant coaches around Thanksgiving, how can he get another head coaching job? No, the best part, Rod, is they won. Good, he's not in the room. We can do what we want now. Big O, what is your favorite low-hanging fruit in crypto right now for long-term investing? VeChain. VeChain is still right there. Cardano was there. Now it's gone up to $1.47, $1.50, and it's still a good buying price, but VeChain is probably the better bargain right now in crypto. I would go VeChain. Whenever they finally add it to Coinbase, oh my God, that thing's going to explode. George says, Big O, what is your, I'm sorry, Seti says, the new coach can come in and sweep the whole staff out the door, including the coaches of the overrated defense. That's probably what's going to happen. I don't think most of these coaches, I think they're all gone. Maybe one sticks or two, not much. I don't expect a lot of these coaches to stick. Mike Scroll says, you get less interesting every day. Dude, that's what my wife says, and I don't know why she sticks around too, so I'm not sure why you stick around. You know what I mean? Here, look, let me help you, Mike. You get less interesting here. Here you go. Here, there you go. Now you've been blocked. Now you know you can't comment. You can only watch, so hopefully soon you won't watch anymore since I'm not interesting. You know what I mean? You think that I love the people. I always love, when I used to do radio, I used to, well, I'm turning you off right now. Am I supposed to get nervous or something? Like, Mike, am I supposed to, oh my God, Mike's not going to listen anymore because he thinks I'm not interesting. Mike, I clean my ass with what you think. I don't care what you think. Bro, it's a free world. There's lots of things for you to do. Haul ass, my man. That's all. You think I'm going to sit here and go, oh my God, Mike, please. I'll try to get more interesting for you. I don't give a shit. Get the hell out of here, bro. Clase come mierda. And if you don't know what that means, go find somebody Latin. This is the extra Big O brings. There you go. Tua is getting an O-line. Wow, what a concept. I can't wait. They need it. Big O, why is Flo obsessed with Deshaun? Maybe they both like massages. I'm not sure. Jose says, turning 55 in March, need a championship soon. I'll settle for 80s-like relevance. Big O, yes, I will too, bro. Just one. Kim Bocamper undressed the Miami soft-ass culture. I don't know what you're talking about. Bro, Bo works for the team, dude. So, whatever. What do you want me to do? Nice guy, whatever, bro. He's not ever going to say anything negative about the team or whatever. So, those kind of guys will wait till they're, like, out the door or something, and then they'll finally start, like, telling it like it is. I'm one of the few people that actually tells it like it is, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So, whatever, dude. What soft-ass culture? What, that Flo is an animal with clothes on that has no people skills? Like, Tua doesn't have a problem with Saban, but he had a problem with Flo, and so did many others. I think it's pretty obvious what was the problem. Not everybody else, it's him. In fact, everybody else was winning in spite of him. That's the part that probably Bo doesn't say, but, he probably can't. You know what I mean? But whatever, bro. It is what it is. Listen, you're not going to get objective coverage in a lot of places. You will here. You won't get almost nowhere, let's put it that way, because they're tied to the team one way or another, and they're influenced by their bosses or whatever. I know because I've been a part of that. I've seen it. Not that I went with it ever, but I've seen it. So please, the old man on the lawn routine. Yeah. Flo has his issues, and that's why he's out the door. It's pretty simple. So, Bo actually did say something negative about Miami. He called the Dolphins soft for firing Flo. Well, maybe he's probably not returning either. I'm not sure. Let's see. The Dolphins front office has a problem. It's like people who get too many divorces. They have a system that they use on everyone there is a relationship with, regardless of the situation. I don't understand what you're saying. The front office has a problem. They got to find a head coach that can build a staff. That's it. Nothing more, dude. Look, people can Bo or anybody else or Dave Hyde or whoever you want. You guys can complicate it all you want. It's pretty simple. Flo was the wrong head coach. The front office screwed up. They hired the wrong guy. They found out they have the wrong guy. Now they got to go get the right guy. And they've got to get a guy that knows how to build a coaching staff. And the front office and that coaching staff better make sure they build a line and get an offensive line coach and an offensive coordinator that knows how to run this damn team. That's their job. It's that simple. It's not that difficult. It's not about looking too much into this relationship or that or whatever. You had the wrong individual running the team. Stop being prisoners of the moment and looking at the total wins. Wannstedt won double digits many times. Doesn't make him a great coach. Tony Sperano won 11 games. Doesn't make him a great coach. Adam Gase won 10 games, and he couldn't get along with anybody. Doesn't make him a great coach. As I keep telling you, these players, most of them, are true professionals. They're going to play hard, and they're going to try to win no matter what, no matter who's coaching. So the team won the games that they were going to win regardless. Brian Flores was not a difference maker. If he was a difference maker, they wouldn't have gone 1-7. That's the simple math. That's the math that probably Kim Bokamper can't understand. That's the math a lot of you out there can't understand. You effed up your season going 1-7. You effed up your season putting an offensive line coach that can't coach. 3 offensive coordinators fighting amongst each other what plays to run. You have no QB coach. You effed up your season by doing all of those things. You effed up your season because you never wanted a running back. So it's simple math. It's right in front of you. I pretty much mapped it out throughout the whole year, all the mistakes that were being made, even through the winning streak. So, for those of you fans out there, including Kim Bokamper, that you just want to get lost in the prisoner of the moment BS with the 7-game winning streak, and you don't have the guts to look at the 1-7 because that's what ruined your season. Brian Flores couldn't challenge a flag if his life depended on it. He was as incompetent as it gets. Forget about his stoic look. Forget about his tough guy look. He couldn't communicate, and he wasn't a coach, and he couldn't put a staff together. So when you have all of that, and you have 0 people skills, your ass should be out on the street. The math is simple. What happened is obvious. You had to throw the trash out on the street, and the trash's name is CamFlo. Okay? Get rid of the trash. Move on. Get somebody that knows how to actually communicate with human beings. Doesn't mean you can't have discipline. Doesn't mean you can't be tough. But it does mean you got to learn how to communicate. So, simple math. Whether a bunch of you can't understand it, hey, man, I got it all year long. I kept telling you he needed to get fired during the winning streak, and tons of you thought I was crazy. And then finally, when they got fired, now everybody's actually understanding what the hell I'm talking about. Problem is, there's a section of you guys and ladies out there, including Kim, that don't get it. And that's fine. I've watched this for many years. They don't get it. Reginald says, any reports from Caldwell or his reps that he's interested in coming back to head coaching in the NFL? He just interviewed. He just interviewed with a team. I forgot which team just interviewed him. He's interested, Reginald. Thank you for the super chat, my man. Rosendo says, time to move on from Flores. Now Greer's on the clock if he doesn't get the right coach. 1,000% right, Rosendo. And you think Chris Greer doesn't know that? He knows that. He knows. He's got to know. Well, I think the reason why he easily survived this is because the owner kind of knows everything that's gone on. They've walked him through every step, everything that's gone on. It's kind of been well documented in a way for everybody behind the scenes. So that's kind of the way they knew what was going on. You know what I mean? And it's not like the owner didn't have his personal dealings with Flo, if you know what I'm saying. Looking forward to talking to Omar Kelly here at the bottom of the hour. I'm going to ask him something about an uncomfortable situation with Flo that I heard about. I don't know if he can be honest about it, so we will find out. Tyron says, Big O, do you think an experienced coach like Jim Caldwell would want the job knowing they are forcing Tua on them? Tyron, see, here's the problem with that whole attitude. I love how people say they're forcing Tua. Oh, you mean because you don't believe in Tua? That's why they're forcing Tua? Is that why it's a force? Why? Because you don't believe in it? Right? That's how your narrative is spun. You should say, hey, Tyron, you and everybody else that does this, because you're all you're doing is repeating like sheep what everybody else says, and they're writing. Oh, you got to force this upon them. So why is it being forced? Because you think he can't play? Or maybe he's the quarterback. You just don't know jack crap about quarterbacking. How about that? Maybe that's the thing. Maybe you're dead wrong because you would have given up on Josh Allen after his first year. You would have given up on Drew Brees after a couple of years. Right? That's all that is. That's all spin factory there. Everybody writing that, everybody talking that. Well, are you going to get the coach you want because you're forcing Tua down their throats? Who's forcing what, dude? He's the quarterback of the team. Why? Because you don't believe in it. That's why it's a force. Because you would have said the same thing about Josh Allen before he got drafted, after the first year that he got drafted. You would have said it for Drew Brees for 3 straight years that he sucked. I love that. Oh, they're forcing Tua. So who's to say? So if Tua then plays well with a line and some quarterbacking, some coaching, all of a sudden, if he plays well, all those people that are talking about forcing Tua, what are they going to say next? I just wonder, because you should save all those articles of all those people and then make sure you send it back to them after Tua does have success and becomes a good quarterback. Then you tell them, hey, what about forcing Tua? I thought you said they were forcing Tua. Because if you're writing that, it's because you already have an opinion. That's what I see. Who's to say that Brian Daboll or Jim Caldwell doesn't say, of course we can win with this kid. All we got to do is get a line and a running game. I can coach him up. I know offense. Daboll and Caldwell know offense. They know if they get him a line and a running game. He had him at Alabama, and he made all the throws that he needed. You just got to know how to design the offense. And you got to have a running. Watch. Okay? I guarantee you. All right? Watch this. I guarantee you now. Those of you that wanted a running back for the last few years, watch you get your running back this year. Do you know why you're going to get your running back this year? Because Brian Flores, in the New England way, they're not big on investing high picks on running backs. They rarely do it. In the 21 years, he's only had a couple of those cases where he does it. Doesn't do it much. And that's the philosophy that was in place here. Now, we don't need to spend a high pick on a back. Watch this year in the top 3 rounds, there'll be one back. Guaranteed. Bet your life on it. Okay? If they don't get a back in the top 3 rounds, it's because somebody became available in free agency that they signed. And, the running back money isn't like anything crazy nowadays because running backs really can't ask for crazy money anymore. So maybe they might get in free agency, but I think they'll draft it. Why? Because Flo is gone. That's how it goes. That's what's going to happen here. There's a lot of things that were, they were done for different reasons. Rob Manx, thank you, sir, for some love on the Super Chat. Is there a leading candidate for the Dolphins? I'm hearing Daboll's the leading candidate. That's what I'm hearing. Okay? So that's what I'm hearing right now. That Daboll is like running away with it, basically. And I think they're interviewing him now, right? They're going to interview him and Leslie Frazier, right? I think now after this win. I think they do that, if I'm correct. Do you blame Greer for sticking us with San Fran's first rounder? Well, yes and no, I guess. Because the coach should have put you in the playoffs for 1-7. You should have won some games and you would have been in the playoffs, so the pick also would have been high also. So it kind of would have been the same crap. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, your coach didn't get it, so it falls on Greer. Yeah. There's no doubt that falls on Greer. Yeah. But again, to me, that doesn't matter. It still would have been it's not a high first-round pick. So in the end, did you not get X in the second round? Did you not find Raekwon Davis in the second round? Right? So later first round, you can find players. You found Van Ginkel in the 5th round, right? So you found Brandon Jones in the 3rd round. So whether you pick at 15 or 20 or 25, you still, if you know what you're doing, you still should be able to get a good player. So to that part to me, Rob, I don't know how many years you've been listening to our show, but I never say it's not where you pick, it's who you pick. Okay? It's all up to you what you want to do. You can go Eddie Moore, but you can end up with a Hall of Famer in Anquan Bolden. Same pick, right there. You want to go Jamar Fletcher, but you could have gone Drew Brees. Hall of Fame. You get my drift? So that's how it goes. Doesn't matter. It's not where you pick, it's who you pick. So that part to me, it's not like, okay, they gave up the 5th pick overall in the draft. Now we're talking something different, Rob. But these are back-end picks anyways. Do your best. Find a player. That's what I would say. James says, look, Drew Brees sucked for 4 years. He goes to coach at the Saints, and boom, he's a Hall of Famer. Yep, great coach. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, Omar Kelly and our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for ejdconstruction.com.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the ejdconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. What, are you concerned or something? What's wrong with you? What's that face?
Not feeling good, bro.
No?
Nah, hopefully it's not the Omarion coronavirus.
Oh, well, at least if you are vaccinated, right? And
yes,
that, right?
I am.
Okay, so, at least you're vaccinated. So hopefully it doesn't, affect you too much is what I'm saying. If it is, I hope it isn't. But you know what, dude? I think we're all headed for it.
We are. It's herd immunity.
Yeah, we're going to end up all of us getting this one. Because this one seems like it is popping everywhere, dude. I don't even know how I haven't gotten it yet, and I'm out all over the place. Okay,
yeah,
everywhere. By the way, I was doing a little digging this weekend. And I was told that Brian Flores made phone calls to you and to Barry Jackson in two different incidents. And I heard he wasn't very cordial to either one of you guys.
No, not phone calls.
No, it was personal.
It was in person. It was in person for me. I can't speak for Barry.
Okay, so Barry was the phone call. Yours was in person.
I don't know. I can't speak for anybody else's on their issue.
Okay, but okay. So what I heard is,
but I can tell you, every media member had at least one.
Were you the one that he said you effed us? Did he tell you that, or that was the Barry one?
Probably me.
I'm told he told either you or Barry that he was pissed. He goes, "Hey, you effed us." And he told you straight up like that, or Barry on something about a lineman or something like that.
No. Okay, I don't know Barry.
Walk us through this. Walk us through this story and altercation you had with Flo.
Not interested. I don't feel like I don't want to be part of the story. Let's just
Well, but it is an example of his lack of people skills.
I mean, but I've had run-ins with Joe Philbin. I've had run-ins with Tony Sperano. I've had run-ins with.
Were they nasty like that?
They included some like Joe Philbin when he cursed at us. That was like, whoa, this is Joe Philbin. Like, he's not gonna put up with any of this fucking shit. That Joe Philbin gave us. Like Joe Philbin got rough with us. But this was not. I'm not interested in rehashing it. All I'll say is don't nobody talk to me like that. It don't matter. Like it don't matter who the fuck you are. Like,
yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, because that's what I was told. I know Barry made a little reference to it in one of his articles. But he didn't really elaborate on it. But I was told over the weekend that he got nasty with you and Barry. So I'm just saying. So that's why
he got nasty. He got nasty with just about everybody. Everybody had their own moment, an instance, which I learned after the fact, and then we all privately cross-checked each other. Like, did he act like this? Was this what he did? And then when we learned it was all universal and this wasn't an isolated incident, we were like, oh, there's an issue here. And it's a lack of respect issue. And, it is what it is. Media members, we have our run-ins with coaches all the time. It's not the first or last member that I have a run-in with. But it's not about the issue. It's about how you conduct yourself. And I have no regrets about how I conducted myself. I'm pretty sure. I think he's an individual. He's one of those individuals where when he's angry, I think he blacks out.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was told. That it was just one of those that the anger it's a rage that takes over when he has that anger in the building and all that stuff. I mean, bro, when I read that story, I did not know that he got Matt Taylor fired. I mean, bro, those of us that have been in this business, especially when you watch all the Dolphin PR people, all those men and women, all they ever do is work their asses off, dude. Okay.
I don't even know if that's a major part of the story, because coaches get their own PR people all the time.
No, but I mean the pettiness of firing him, that was just, just come on, dude. It's
bro.
a PR.
Here's what's happening. Everybody is throwing out their laundry list of all his grievances and issues and problems, and it's not, and using it as an example for why he got fired or his lack of ability to have interpersonal relationships. Okay, it all has some validity to it, but the bottom line is he got fired. He got fired because he ultimately can't hire an offensive staff.
Yeah, well, that's obvious.
And he had too many run-ins with too many people.
Yeah, his people skills were terrible. That's he had the Randy Shannon disease.
And somebody brought that up to me. Somebody brought that because everybody knows.
I did that last week. I brought it up to you. I'm the one that brought it up to you last week. What's wrong with you? Yes. Thousands of people are learning your memory sucks, by the way. I just want you to know.
Hey, man, Alzheimer's runs in
thousands
my family.
Of people every week are fighting.
It's a sensitive issue to me. I don't appreciate you calling me out. It runs in my family. I'm now worried about myself. But yeah.
No. By the way, that's all of us, Omar. We all have memory issues because we're so overworked and burnt out and all that stuff. It happens.
I'm not overworked or burnt out. I just
I am.
I listen. Randy Shannon was a despicable human being, and people who know me know that I don't like Randy Shannon, and for various reasons.
Well, a lot of people didn't like Randy Shannon, actually. Once you had to know Randy Shannon, you knew you didn't want to know Randy Shannon.
Flo isn't at that level, but he has some real issues, and like the anger management. Like when he gets turned up, he gets turned up. And we saw certain instances of that during the game. And then I remember the Jakeem Grant thing in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And then he was ultra apologetic about it because, he didn't want, he had a sensitivity about it, about how a black head coach is going to be perceived, or it was such an issue that, he didn't want that clip used on him moving forward. But when Flo turned up, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty. And yeah, I had one of the incidents. I'm sure all of us had an incident. But it's, my issue is you could have your opinion and that's fine. And I still disagree with your opinion. But nobody talks to me like that. Nobody, zero.
Yeah. I heard it was ugly between him, you, and Barry, that he got really ugly with you two. We will ask Joe Shad if he had any run-ins in the third hour with us on the program. We'll see if he has any things that he wants to elaborate on. All right, so far, Doggy, we got Dable, Moore, Mike McDaniel, Thomas Brown, Leslie Frazier, Vance Joseph, and Dan Quinn. I'm on record that I'm a Caldwell guy. That I want to call. I know Caldwell's not on this list, but I want a Caldwell Del Rio type. But Dable is one that I would accept because, as I've told you, as we've talked about, Pats 98 to 01, Jets 07 to 08, Browns 09 to 010, Dolphins, then KC, back to New England, Bama, Bills here.
He was in KC.
Yeah, he was the OC in KC in 2012. How about
that? That's
dude?
for Romeo Crennel?
Yeah.
Okay, so he wasn't part of Andy Reid. Yeah.
No, Reid came after. But still, I mean, the fact that he was considered that, that's actually big. And obviously Romeo had history with him with New England. So
he was, and to this day still is my favorite former offensive coordinator here in Miami. And I make the argument to people all the time. If he wouldn't have gotten off to a late start because of the lockout, they would have had a better offense. It took them half the season to install the offense. They had a quarterback change, but he won games with Matt Moore. And not to say that's Matt Moore took this team to the playoffs. Matt Moore is the last quarterback to take this team to the playoffs.
Wins, right? I think 6-3.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. The give him weaponry and he'll find a way to make it work. And that's what I've always liked about him. He's got an aggressive style to him, as you saw in that last playoff game, where he's not taking his foot off the gas. He's going to fix the offense. The only concern I have is can he put together a quality defensive staff? Because
that's the question.
If we're going to be honest and candid about these first-time head coaches, their inability to put together quality defensive staffs or a quality
opposite staff, opposite of whatever they are.
Correct. Yes. That has been the issue. Now, if Daboll has a relationship with who's the defensive coordinator here? Damn.
You talk about our guy here now?
Josh Boyer, yeah.
Yeah, Boyer.
I don't know if that's going to work because it looks like Flo's going to get a job in this cycle, whether it be Houston or Chicago. And Flo's probably going to take Boyer with him. I think Boyer probably would benefit from getting from under Flo, but then maybe he still feels like he has things to learn. I'm also a big Gerald Alexander guy. I want Gerald Alexander to stay here because I know how talented he is and I know how quickly he's going to rise in the league. But, he's still got a lot to learn as well. But this coaching staff, if no matter who it is, I'm going to be worried about if defense is his specialty like Dan Quinn, I'm going to be worried about the offensive side of the staff.
Of course.
Yeah. And that's no matter who it is. Daboll gets the hot job. I'm going to be worried about the defensive side of the staff.
But he is the one assistant coach that I would give the green light to.
Actually. Daboll?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I love Daboll.
By the way, I don't know what you're hearing, but I'm hearing he's like the leading candidate by like 87 miles. Like there is no number two.
I don't know if I'm comfortable saying that. I think he's the leading candidate, but I don't know if I'm comfortable saying that from this standpoint. He's going to have more than likely multiple job offers. And
I know that, but what I'm telling you is he's the guy they want. He's the guy they want. That's what I'm hearing.
I don't know if it's fair to say that. I think he's the front runner, but I don't know if it's fair to say he's the guy they want until they sit down with him because Daboll has a personality like me, and that's part of the reason why I love him. And it could rub you the wrong way. It could definitely rub you the wrong way. If you don't like people who are straight shooters,
I don't think that straight shooting is not a problem. It's your communication skills. After that, you can be a straight shooter.
I communicate quite well.
You can be a straight shooter and still get along with people. That's not.
Oh, I think I get along with everybody, but some people, straight shooters, don't rub certain group of people the right way. They don't make them feel comfortable. And I'm not sure that Steve Ross.
I know that, by the way. I know that, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Steve Ross is comfortable with a straight shooter, and I'm just being honest and transparent to you. Let me just break this down for you. You know why he liked Gase? Gase made him popular in the room. In a room amongst NFL owners, Gase had the charisma Gase was always popular, Mr. Popular. And Gase would always be able to run the crowd. And when you get to the NFL owners meetings, Gase made Steve Ross cool. Yeah, he just did. And I think Ross is looking for a coach like that. Flores didn't do that. And I'm not saying that that's the right approach or that's the right answer or that's the right thing to look for. I know he's also looking for an offensive coach. I think he felt like he made a mistake hiring a defensive coach because, the offense regressed. And, Ross is always about offense and has always been about the offense. And he wants a better product on the field offensively, as do all Dolphin fans. The problem is he keeps hitching his wagon to not the right quarterback, which, It is what it is. You could feel how you want to feel about Tua, and you know, I love Tua, but I have my concerns whether or not he's going to be a top 10 quarterback in this league. And Ross should have.
But you can't have it both ways, Omar. Either you love Tua and believe he can be a good quarterback, or
I think he can be a good quarterback, but can he be a top 10
then,
quarterback? No, I don't know. I don't think so.
So if he has a running game, a coach, and an offensive line, what can he be in your eyes?
Jimmy Garoppolo. And I like Jimmy Garoppolo, and I respect Jimmy Garoppolo, and I'll ride with Jimmy Garoppolo. My question for Tua is, moving forward, are you Jimmy Garoppolo or better?
I think he's better, personally. If you give him a running game and an offensive line with a coach that knows offense, I think he can be a top 10 quarterback because he's just a smart and an accurate kid.
I think he's top half quarterback.
You just have to run the right offense and compliment him. That's it, and I think you'll be fine.
I think that, and I've heard this from his teammates. The velocity is just not going to go away. The velocity issues are just not going to go away, and there are throws that he can't make. And
Drew Brees didn't have velocity, bro, and he survived in this league. You don't have to have velocity. You have to have accuracy and anticipation and ball and what's it called? Ball
placement.
Ball placement. That's it, dude. That's what you have to have in this league. Glenn Dawson didn't have a big arm. Bob Reese didn't have a big arm. Chad Pennington didn't have a big arm. I mean, there's lots of quarterbacks that have had success in the league without a big arm.
Yes, but how much success? And that's when I bring up those names.
Bob Reese is in the Hall of Fame. Drew Brees is in the Hall of Fame. Len Dawson was a damn good quarterback. I think he's in the Hall of Fame. Obviously, Pennington had way too many injuries to end up there, but he was a good quarterback, didn't have a strong arm.
Yeah, he didn't have a strong arm at the end, but let's not disrespect Chad Pennington. He used to put that ball out there for Randy Moss. Let's not forget that.
I know that, but I'm just saying
he had that thing in the beginning. And
yeah, but he's throwing it ahead of time, so Moss would just glide right under it and take off. You know, it's a 35-40 yarder that Moss made an 80-yarder.
Yeah, Chad Pennington. People disrespect Chad Pennington's arm. I think Tua will be a good quarterback in 2023. Once he's seen every defense everybody's going to face and the team is built around him, I just don't know if he's going to be a top 10 quarterback. And that's my, that's where I got to see more. I got to see him with a line. I got to see him with a running game.
I got you. All right. What are you working on the Sunset, my brother, so folks can check you out?
Right now, I just asked for some time off because I got to beat this bug. I more than likely I'm doing something kind of looking at where this job stacks up in terms of what's available and what's out there. And I'd love to get your opinion on this. I don't want anything to do with the Giants job because that's just a bad job.
Yeah.
Chicago, I can be enticed.
Yeah, they got
depending on that, how you feel about the quarterback. I
like him. I like him too. You got to work with the young man. Give him some time to grow.
If you're Dable and you see the skills of Tua and you see the skills of Justin of Brant, what's his name? Fields.
Justin Fields.
Fields. You see the skills of Justin Fields, and it comes down to which quarterback you like. Who are you picking?
Oh, I'm taking Tua because he's the better passer. But I love.
But you can look at what you did with Josh Allen.
Right. I like what Fields brings to the table. He's a winner. He'll play hard as hell. He's got heart, man. I like the kid. It's just you do have to kind of mold him a little bit more as a passer, kind of like you did with Josh Allen.
See, but he's got things that you can't teach Tua.
Exactly. No, he's got athleticism that Tua will never have. It's just the way it is. He's just gifted. The Lord gave him athletically more gifts than he gave Tua. But Tua is superior to him as a passer, as a pocket passer.
Right now.
So, yes.
Right now.
And will be for years to come. Because if you keep Tua protected, all he's going to do is get better, dude. That's all he's going to do. So I don't know if Justin will ever become the passer that Tua is, but there's no doubt that Justin has so much talent that if you're Dable, okay, it might be a little bit more of a reclamation project, but I see what you're saying. The upside, it's all there, man.
Where do you feel about Jacksonville's job? It comes with Trevor Lawrence.
I'm a Trevor Lawrence guy. I love Trevor Lawrence. I don't care what he did this year. That's just what's around him is garbage, and that's why. Yeah, man, if I'm an offensive mind, hell yeah, I want to go there. That owner will spend, dude. It's the same thing that's going on here.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
No. Omar, he spends. That guy's building hotels and condominiums and all that stuff to offset the fact that he can't bring the money in for the stadium. So they're giving him properties around that area where he's building condos and all kinds of stuff where he can make more money. Shad Khan, bro, he owns a soccer team.
Yeah,
okay?
But
you don't play games, dude. If you're in the international,
what's their history of spending to improve their product?
No. It's just It's not. It's not a matter of spending. That's not a problem for them. Their problem is they haven't had the right, like us. They haven't had the right combination of front office and coaching to turn that thing around. That's all it is, Omar. Nothing more. Shad Khan is he's a good owner, man.
I like him.
He's actually a great owner because most owners with half a brain, and I know he's got a great brain, but most of them would have said, yo, get me out of Jacksonville, and I need to move this team to Mexico City or Toronto or whatever, Las Vegas or whatever, and he never has over the years. He has stayed there and even willing to go become the London team in a way at times to always give up a home game. He's a good man, bro. He's a good man.
Vikings and Broncos. Vikings, obviously, there's a Kirk Cousins issue where he's the highest paid player in the NFL, and you gotta. But Kirk is not a bad quarterback now, as you know. We've had this issue.
It's just the team has to be perfect around him in order for him to be the facilitator.
Same thing for Tua. Same thing for Tua.
No, I think he's a superior passer to this guy. I'm just.
You crazy? You crazy?
I think Tua can be a hell of a quarterback, bro. That's just me.
You crazy? You crazy?
You give him Minnesota's team, and he does better than Kirk Cousins. You give him a line and a cook running the ball.
I don't know about that.
You give him a Stephon Diggs and stuff like that, like the kind of receivers he's had there. And what's the name of the other kid they have now?
Put some respect on Kirk Cousins' name. That's. Like Kirk has done it now.
Numbers. They're numbers. That's all they are.
And
not enough big moments, bro. Not enough
Broncos. Ownership situation unsettling.
Yes. We don't know who's going to be the owner. Will it be Elway or will it be Peyton Manning?
It's not going to be Elway. Didn't Elway get his wings clipped?
Well, yeah, because he can't pick a quarterback. He can't find a quarterback. You realize that the Denver Broncos have never drafted a quarterback? They didn't draft Craig Morton. They didn't draft John Elway. They didn't draft Peyton Manning. And now if they sign Rodgers or Russell, they're not drafting those guys either. They have traded for all of their great quarterbacks. They've never, it's not a John Elway thing. It's a Denver Bronco thing.
And
they never drafted a quarterback.
Yeah, they had what's his name? Gase's guy.
Well, maybe I could say Brian Greasy if you want, but that's like I said, Bronco great. And Brian Greasy's not a Bronco great. Craig Morton, John Elway, Peyton Manning, all acquired through via trade. How crazy!
Hey, they drafted Brock Osweiler.
There you go. So
and this kid, the kid that played their final game, placing Teddy Bridgewater. I forget his name now.
By the way, Chicago becomes even sexier if Aaron Rodgers does leave Green Bay.
Yeah. There's no way. Yeah.
I'm just saying. If he does,
you still got to go coach in Chicago.
Yeah.
Not that that's a bad thing, but yeah.
No. I like the Fields kid. I think you just got to work with him to give him a chance to maybe you might get something out of him. I know this. He's got heart and character. That's for damn sure. And he's a winner. So there's a lot of things you can work with Justin Fields. I'd try to work with him, that's for sure. Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly, and make sure you subscribe to the Sun Sentinel, baby, and support our local journalists. Omar, as always, you're a stud. Thank you for taking some time, man.
All right.
Got it. There you go. Omar Kelly and the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report with Omar Kelly. For additions, home remodeling, or custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
Pro Play 77, a little love on the super chat. Thank you, sir. He says, Big O, why did Brian Billick never get another head coaching job again? Was it another Cam Flow situation? I guess people thought that one trip was what it was, and that's it. Move on. Dougie Fresh, a little love on the super chat. I'm sorry, I saw this late. It says, please ask Omar, what is your take on the Tua has a bad work ethic talk? You know what? I think that talk is a bunch of crap. Do you know why? How can you have a bad work ethic when you rehab from a hip in November to take the field in September? By the way, don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button for those of you that are watching right now. Let's go. We got 777 people I see right now on the chat board. Let's get to 1,000, baby. Joe Shad from the Palm Beach Post will join us in this hour at 12:30. In fact, we are into hour number 3. Let's do it. Let's take a break here. Top of the hour. Get ready for hour number 3.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. For over 25 years, South Floridians have counted on Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises for their roofing needs. In South Florida, we battle the sweltering heat, rain, winds, and all kinds of tropical storms. That's why when it comes to protecting your family, home, or business, call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com. 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs. All work fully guaranteed with the customer's complete satisfaction. A+ rated member of the Better Business Bureau. Licensed and insured. There's no buts about it. When your roof needs repair or replacement, go to TommyBButtsJrEnterprises.com. A certified widening contractor. statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by Canesware. Go to Canesware.com, where all orders over $99 get free shipping. Sloman's Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tommy B. Butts Junior Enterprises.com. Licensed roofing contractor. 100% financing is available. Go to Tommy B. Butts Junior Enterprises.com.
When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. There we go. Thank you. Hour number 3 of the program. We thank Ira in hour number 1. We thank Omar, hour number 2. Joe Shad will be joining us in hour number 3 here at 12:30. As always, and we got some news. Hopefully, will come through this week. We'll be growing again and adding more individuals to the program. Tomorrow, by the way, Cameron Wolf, Manny Navarro, and Alan Poupart will be joining us on the program. Wednesday, Joe Shad will stop by. Thursday, Alan Poupart will come back. And then Friday, it's Ira Winderman, Manny Navarro, Omar Kelly, and Cameron Wolf. A loaded program for you on Friday. So there you go. And so we got loaded shows for you. We will be at Hialeah Park on Thursday. This week, I don't think it's next week for Acura. I think that's what it is, right? If I'm correct, I think Sean, right? We were in Acura this Friday, right? So it's next Friday that we'll be at Acura. Or were we home this Friday? I forgot now. Damn it. It's one of those deals. Life. Anyway, either way, whatever. We'll tell you by tomorrow. I'll figure it out if I'm there or not. Because I know it's every other Friday. I always get it confused. Let's see, what else do we have here? Pseudo Spike says, I'm not anti-vaxxer. Oh, whatever. I'm not. Let's see. What else do we have? In flow, we should have trusted. Yeah, sure. Whether we get another QB or not, we should keep Tua while he's on his rookie deal. No reason to trade him now. There's no reason to trade him at all. Build around him, try to win with him, and I think everything will be all right. But the way they're doing it, you have no shot. Thomas Jensen says, living in the film room is what made Zach Thomas great. I'll take that every day and twice on Sunday. Yeah, I don't. That's fine. I'm sure the film room helps. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but whatever. Jason says, I think Tua works hard. He just might not put in 20-hour days like coaches do, and maybe that's what made Flores mad. There's more to life than a 23-year-old living in a film room. You know what, Jason? Listen, first of all, there's been too much made of this crap. The kid works hard, okay? Flo is a king-size a-hole. Let's just, right? Enough already. I mean, it's just like, you guys, some of you out there, you're making excuses for somebody that acts like a Neanderthal. And that's Brian Flores. Brian Flores is not a good people person. Has nothing to do with Mr. Tough Guy and tough love and tough coaching and all that kind of crap. This is a disrespectful human being. I just did something for you all out there. Has anybody out there come out to tell you that Flo was super nasty behind the scenes to Omar and Barry Jackson? Anybody tell you that? Anybody? Anybody on any of the local radio stations? Of course not, because they couldn't unearth news if their ass depended on it. And I brought on one of the gentlemen that was disrespected, and what did he just tell you? Nobody talks to me like that. Why did I do that? Because I wanted to set an example for you. Urban Meyer, kicking the punter, talking crap to his players. Do you think he had the right to talk crap to his coaches and his players the way he did? No. This isn't about Mr. Tough Guy. This isn't about, classic old school approach. Flo is Mr. Tough Guy and the Dolphins are soft and this and that. Dude, if they were so soft, they would have folded after 1-7. This guy wasn't even talking to his coaches after Thanksgiving. And they won without his communication. That's actually an indictment on Flo. When he was all over the coaches, they were 1-7. When he left them alone, they won. I just brought out some kind of like breaking news for you all with Omar without even Omar knowing or you guys or anything, shedding light on what's going on, and some of you are just glossing over it. I get it that this sport has a Neanderthal approach to it. I understand that. But there's still a people skill to this. (855-912-1056). That's 855-912-1056. Let's if you want to get in on the program, that is the text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com. Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Don't forget to please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We were at least starting the show, we were 180 away from 10,000. Let me see. We are now 160 away from 10,000. So we've picked up 20 since the show started. So let's go, baby. 160 away. Let's get us to 10,000. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the program. Also hit the notification bell, all that good stuff, and smash the like button. Okay. Out of Tua's mouth, I really didn't know the playbook facts. Yeah, exactly. He didn't. You're right. Exactly. Do you know what happened that offseason? Was he the number one quarterback? No. Did he take number one reps? No. Was he rehabbing a hip most of the offseason? Yes. Did he have a preseason, Thomas Jensen? No. So was it an abbreviated training camp? Yes. So how are they all supposed to know everything? You know, Thomas, listen, my brother, I get it, bro. You don't like Tua. Spin whatever the hell you want. But those are the facts. No one's really going to know the offense if you're not the starter. Fitz was getting all the starter reps, not him. That's the way it is. He had a hip to rehab. That's just the way it goes. And by the way, Thomas, the offensive coordinator, as I told you all year, told Flo he's not ready. And Flo played him anyway. So you do the math now. So your offensive coordinator, who knows the offense, who coaches the quarterbacks, who has them in the room, tells the head coach the kid's not ready yet. But the head coach decides to play him anyways. Just think about that. Let it marinate. What does that mean to you? Did he sabotage him? Right? I mean, if your OC is telling your head coach he's not ready, but the head coach wants to play him anyway, first of all, what do you think the OC at that moment is thinking once he tells his head coach that? This guy thinks I'm an idiot. This guy doesn't care what I think. He's going to do whatever he wants anyway. I just told him the rookie's not ready yet. Yet he wants to put a rookie coming back from a hip injury and no offseason in there. But I mean, again, Thomas, you spin whatever you want, my brother. However you want. Just don't look at what actually happened. You know what I mean? Yeah. All of a sudden, Tua's lazy. Tua doesn't work. I get it. That's fantastic. Everything he isn't. Let's do it. Here's a kid that's saying, I got to go up north so I can throw. I mean, no, but he wants to go play golf, I guess. He wants to hang out, and, he's going to go surfing. What was that? What's that game with the paddle? What's that thing called that they caught him in the that's that game that old people play all over the place? I'm sure I'm headed for it one day. What's the name of that thing? Yeah, that's what he wants to do. I forgot the name of that paddle game or whatever the hell it's called. That the thing was flying around social media with him, in his hand. Whatever the hell that thing is called. No, of course. No, he must have a crappy work ethic. Of course, he rehabbed the hip from November to September to be ready. Yeah,
Are you talking about pickleball?
Pickleball. That's it. Thank you. Pickleball. There you go. Big Mark sent it in. Or, I'm sorry, Big Merc sent it in. Thank you, Big Merc. Look at Big O trying to clean this up. That's it. I'm cleaning it up. I'm taking out the broom. Let's see. John says, I don't know about you, Big O, but after 30 plus years, I just want a Super Bowl before I die. So do I, my brother. So do I. Jan Vonk or Jan or Jan, I'm not sure exactly which one it is. The golf was part of his hip rehab. Look at the swing movement when swinging golf. It has to do fully with hip and base functions. Listen, if I'm not going to start questioning that kid's character and his work ethic. That's not something that you should question. The fact that people are doing it, it shows how little they know about the situation. Okay. Let's see. George says, Big O, I like Tua, but I do have concerns about him being able to get it done in Buffalo or wherever else the weather gets very cold and inclement late in the season. The kid has never had to play in it. Okay, so we will find out. I'm not sure when the wind is howling at, 40, 50 miles an hour, how many times are you throwing 40, 50 yarders downfield? Usually when the wind is howling, doesn't matter who you are, it's a short passing game or running. I'm not sure where you guys are thinking that all of a sudden you're throwing it in 40-mile-an-hour wind and you're throwing downfield a whole bunch. Doesn't matter how strong your arm is, the wind's going to take the ball. So in bad weather, your game plan changes to a more short passing attack. The key for Tua, for those of you that don't understand the quarterback position, like the one he bounced to Mac Hollins, the key for him is to actually have a offensive line that allows him to find his receiver, set, and throw. If you want him to be throwing off balance and sideways and all that and just using arm, not going to do it. And if you look at that play where he breaks out because he's getting away from pressure, he doesn't have time to set. And that's why the ball bounces. Go look at it. His body's sideways. He's not the kind of guy that can just do those kind of things. Doesn't necessarily mean you can't win. He's just going to need the kind of offense in front of him that can block so he can actually set his feet and throw, because he's a guy that does need the lower half of his body to throw. He can't be like Marino, where the Achilles tears and Marino says, F it, I'm not going to repair it. He would have to repair it because he needs the base of his body in order to maximize his throws. Whereas Marino could still throw a rifle with his arm. And so can Josh Allen. And so can Justin Herbert. And certain other quarterbacks in the history of time. Doesn't necessarily mean that you'll win a Super Bowl, as Marino did not win a Super Bowl, because Marino did not have help. He did not have a running game. He did not have a right side of the line, let's be honest now. I mean, we always say line, really, it's the left side. And he didn't have a defense. And that's Dan freaking Marino, who, by the way, George Albanese, can throw in bad weather. Did it help you, George? Did you win a championship? No. Why didn't you win a championship? Because you didn't help Marino. I love how we spin it like, oh, well, Tua needs all this help. Every quarterback needs help. Please assist me in the last quarterback that carried an entire franchise to a title and that they had no defense and no running game. Please help me out on that one. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see the Danny Manning, the Carmelo Anthony, the Glenn Rice moment in the NFL. Please. I welcome it. Because it doesn't happen. So everybody needs help. And Tua had no help. So he needs a line. Give him a line, give him a running game, and you will see a different quarterback. It's pretty simple. You guys, I want a guy who can throw. We had him. His name is Marino. He can throw everywhere you want, George Albanese. How did that help, dude? How did it help, George? Please, help me out, bro. Because if you think the Marino era was enough, then I guess you have very low standards. Because last time I checked, it's about winning a Super Bowl. So you can do what Marino didn't do with Tua, but you're also going to need to do what you didn't do with Marino. You got to help Tua. You got to help Marino. You got to help Brady. You got to help Montana. Okay? They all had help. None of them did it by themselves. None of them just carried the team. They had coaching staffs. They had defenses, offensive lines, running games, great receivers, great tight ends. They had a combination of some of those. Tua had none of that last year. Not a great line, not a great running game, not a great receiver, not even a great defense. Because the defense didn't always step up every time. There were times that you needed it, and it failed. Let's be honest. AJ says, I know you're a Tua guy, and thank you for the super chat. And I understand your argument. Would you at least bring in competition to push him and plan B just in case? No, I would not. Right now, I don't need to bring in competition. I don't need to spend money on resources that you need for the offensive line, that you need for wide receiver, that you need at middle linebacker. You understand, AJ? Your problem is not the quarterback. Your problem is that you have no quarterbacks coach, that you have no offensive coordinator, that you have no O-line coach. Your problem is that you don't have that. So get me a middle linebacker. Get me 2 veteran offensive linemen. Get me a reliable receiver opposite of Waddle and Mac Hollins. Because that's all I want to see back. You can bring back Isaiah Ford as your last receiver if you want. But I don't want to see, certainly Will Fuller. Don't want to see Albert Wilson anymore. I don't want to see Preston Williams anymore. And I don't want to see Devontae Parker anymore. And if you want to bring back Devontae Parker, then he signs a minimum deal with some incentives. And if his ass can stay healthy, he can meet the incentives. If he can't, minimal. So your 5th and 6th receivers, I don't even know if you should use those guys. You know what? Forget Ford and forget Parker. Go get guys that can play special teams as your 5th and 6th receivers. Even better. Now that I think about it. It's a lot of things you need. competition at quarterback is not one of them. That's not what's going to get you better. I just told you right now, George Albanese just came in with I don't know if he can throw in weather. Well, Marino can throw in weather. What did that get you? Oh, you didn't help him. Where's that argument go now? So you're worried about Tua throwing in weather? Well, I'm worried about Marino. He's got no defense and no running game. What's he going to win? Nothing. Interesting, huh? Julian says, Big O, Dable's resume before Buffalo is not good to say the least. With bottom 10 offenses everywhere he went, are you just worried that he's just the latest prisoner of the moment hire? Well, Julian, what top 10 offense did he have in those combinations? So let's go over it, Julian. So the Dolphins in 2011, were they top 10 talent on offense? Browns in 09 and 10. You want me to go back? Let's entertain lazy Julian's comments here. Because I love how, again, my man wants chicken salad out of chicken, right? So, it's funny. So he's part of crappy teams, right? And a guy like Julian points out that he didn't have great success with those teams, right? But then when he actually is given a good offense and he developed a quarterback that couldn't hit the side of a barn, because I watched it at the Senior Bowl going, wow, Josh Allen is terrible. So he's turned him into a Pro Bowl quarterback, and Julian doesn't want to give him credit. Okay, so Julian now, let's see, Julian. Julian might end up learning something about this show. He probably is new. And so 09 and 10, right? Let's see. Mangini was the coordinator. The Browns. Colt McCoy was your quarterback. Top 10, right, Julian? Peyton Hillis, who could never stay healthy, but that year he had 1,100 yards. Okay. Josh Cribbs, 66 yards receiving. My God, this is terrible. Josh Cribbs, Seneca Wallace, Lawrence Vickers, James Davis, Chancey Stuckey. Oh, Ben Watson was there. He had 700 yards. Mohad Massaquoi, a whole 400 yards. Chancey Stuckey had 300. Brian Robisky, 300. Evan Moore. Does that sound like a top 10 offense that Brian Dable is supposed to make? Just wondering, Julie. Let's go with the Dolphins of 11, right? Let's, because Julian has Brian Dable coaching, Pro Bowlers, so he should have a top 10 offense. So let's go to the Miami Dolphins offense. Went 6-10 in 2011. And they got Matt Moore at quarterback, who went 6-6. Complete record that year. Chad Henne was 0-4. Matt Moore, Chad Henne, Julian, top 10 offense, right? Reggie Bush, who was used as a running back that year because, the late Sperano thought that was a really good idea. And the great Daniel Thomas, my man, okay? And then you had Lex Hilliard in there, too. And Devon Bess. Oh, Brandon Marshall was there. He did have 1,200 yards. And Brian Hartline and Clyde Gates. And everybody remember the great Clyde Gates? Anthony Fasano. Oh, yeah. That's top 10, bro. My man blames Dable because he's got to coach dog crap. So when he gets to coach something good and he turns it into something really good, he doesn't get any credit either. Julian. Buddy, when you bring it on the show, bring it, because you might get exposed. Julian, is Big O implying that our offense right now is more like Buffalo or those teams he coached? Julian, I can see why you're not very smart, my brother. I never said that. I just answered your dumb comment that he didn't have any top 10 offenses when he never coached any top 10 talent to have top 10 offenses. But you expect Dable to make chicken salad out of chicken crap. Okay? All I'm saying is he's a good coach, and he's proven that he's a good coach over time. And he did a great job in Buffalo because he's not only done a great job with the offense, but he's developed a quarterback. That's huge. So he's actually passed several tests overall. And Brian Dable will not be able to make this top 10 if he's not able to get an offensive line coach, and a running game. So that'll be his job along with Chris Greer. And I'm sure he knows that. And again, for those of you just tuning in, I'm hearing Dable is like the leading candidate for miles and miles and miles. That's what I'm hearing. Like, that's like the clubhouse favorite in that building. They really want Brian Dable. Carlos Ruiz. Watsonites and Pickett's liners came to the wrong place. They can't handle the truth. Thank you, sir, for a little love on the super chat. Appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to the show. Remember, we're 160 away now from 10,000 subscribers. Thank you. Thank you. We are climbing quickly. And by the way, we completed the week. I want to thank all of you out there. We completed the week. The first time we've done this. We've had 2 days in the week where we crossed 100,000 downloads. Last week, for the first time ever, we crossed 100,000 downloads in 5 straight days. Monday through Friday of last week, we crossed 100,000 mark, and we want to thank all of you out there for your incredible support. I want to read the tweet for you guys out there. We posted it, and Monday we had 155,770. Tuesday, 116,193. Wednesday, 125,165. Thursday, 116,176. And Friday, 108,591. A 5-day total of 621,895 downloads. It's amazing. So thank you all out there. We crossed the 12 million mark also today. So 12 million downloads. It just continues to grow. We thank you all. All right. Joe Shad is joining us next with the AmericanDreamLending.com Miami Dolphins report. And we've got a interesting question for Joe. That's next.
Dolphins fans, buckle up. It's time for the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report with Joe Shad. When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. Call them at 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. Here's Joe Shad with today's edition of the American Dream Lending report.
The legend that is Joe Shad in the slick room as always. How was your weekend, young man?
It's going well, man. I really enjoyed watching that football. You know, there's probably a couple of more playoff teams than we need in the field.
Yeah.
I think, you know, you could have gone without that 7 seed, but the NFL is never going to do that. They're not going to take away product. So, yeah, I know. But
way too much money.
The teams that beat up on the 7 seeds, Big O, is there any chance that it's actually better for them to have like sort of a warm up for the playoffs as opposed to having that bye week? Or are the teams with the bye week always going to be in an advantage because of the rest?
you know, I don't even know how to answer that because I've seen both work for teams. You know what I'm saying? I would rather have the week off personally to rest guys up, get them fresher for the whole thing. Playing actually puts you at risk at getting injured for the following week, and then you're missing somebody going into that next game, which may hurt you in advancing. So I personally, listen, if you're well coached and your players are pros, they can handle in fact, they look forward to the week off and they'll be much more fresher overall for that. Hey, look, we saw it in the Dolphins game towards the end here where they had 5 days rest and well, it was 5 days of turnaround. It wasn't even rest, but you could tell that they were the team that was out of gas while the other team had 10 days of rest in the process. So you saw that this year.
Yeah, I mean, for Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers, I think it's ideal to have that extra week of rest. For Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans, I guess the one thing it does is it gives Derrick Henry that extra week. So, but the round of 8 games are going to be really good. I've always enjoyed. My favorite weekend has always been the Championship Sunday with the AFC and NFC Championship. But next weekend is going to be almost as good. There are some really appealing matchups, and I just wish that one time we'd be talking about the Dolphins as a part of this. You know,
it'll happen, bro. One day.
Look at the quarterbacks who are standing, though, man. I mean, not to dive right into it, but I mean, you know, if the Dolphins just had one of these Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Josh Allen types, you know, it would give them an edge. It would. Those quarterbacks always seem to be at this point of the game, you know? Those are the guys.
Yeah. But if those guys don't have a line in a running game like they don't have now or coaching, it doesn't matter. They would be also outside looking in when it's all said and done. So they're not a quarterback away, dude. They're an offensive staff away. They're an offensive line away. They're a running game away. They're reliable receivers away. So those guys can only erase so much. We had an eraser. His name was Dan Marino. And because you didn't give him a running game, the right side of the line, or a defense, he didn't win jack crap either.
No, I understand the point. I understand that you need to surround your quarterback with some help. It is also true, and of course there's only one Tom Brady. It is also true that Tom Brady looked quite good even without Antonio Brown and Chris Godwin.
But he still has Mike Evans. He still has Mike Evans.
The guy who's able to lift everyone up around him. And I guess the Dolphins have made the decision. General manager Chris Greer empowered to make this decision, apparently, and we're going to dive into it here, that he still believes Tua can be a guy to lift the team. Is he right? I don't know. I mean, I guess giving Tua one more year to prove that he's not a person that can lift the team, I'm okay with it. Big O, the part I don't love, and I know you said you had an important question you wanted to ask me, but the part I don't love is going into these interviews with the preconceived notion, hey, you like Tua, right? Hey, Tua's good, right?
Yeah.
I don't love that.
Joe, how come 3 years ago Tom Brady couldn't elevate the Patriots over a 5-win Dolphin team? And he needed that bye week. Need help, bro. Don't matter who you are. And Tom Brady still has a badass defense, still has a badass coaching staff, has a running game, has Mike Evans, has tight ends. So he still has things that Miami doesn't have, and that's why he's also succeeding overall. You know what I'm saying? So doesn't matter. Look, like I mentioned to the people that kind of get into this discussion, Bob Greasy had half of Marino's talents. Half. But he's got 2 titles that Marino doesn't. Why? Because he had the team that Marino never had. He had the running game Marino never had. He didn't have not 1, not 2, but he had 3 running backs. He had a Pro Bowl Hall of Fame offensive line and a defense that had a no name on it. So
I wasn't around for this. I wasn't around for this, but I've read.
You don't have to be around. You don't have to be around.
No, it's going to make a separate point. A guy who I've never seen play, I'd never hardly even seen highlights, named David Woodley. Led the Dolphins to a Super Bowl, right? And then it's my understanding that despite that, they felt they needed to upgrade the position, and they did with Danny Marino, right? Is that right?
Yeah. It was Woodstock, and Don Strock would save his ass because he would do the passing Woodley. I watched that. I lived that. So I'm old enough to have lived all of that, by the way, 70s.
So
and
what
that.
about the idea that the Dolphins
Joe, he didn't carry them. Woodley did a couple of plays or whatever. That defense was the heart and soul of that team.
No, but the point that I'm making is that even teams that reach the Super Bowl, Jimmy Garoppolo, others in recent memory, those teams are still looking to upgrade the quarterback position.
Yeah.
And yet here are the Dolphins. They haven't sniffed, 100 miles of the Super Bowl in how long? And they're proclaiming they're all in on Tua for 2022. Help me understand how that makes sense.
Help me understand how you don't understand that if you give him a running game and you give him an offensive line, he can win, and a coaching staff.
Would you take Aaron Rodgers if Aaron Rodgers lets
I'm opposite of you, dude. I'm opposite of you. Your problem is, just like the people that don't like Tua, you look at it like you've already given up on the kid and you can't understand that he can win. Where I'm on the other side going, well, he didn't have any coaching. He didn't have an offensive line, didn't have a running game, didn't have reliable receivers outside of Waddle. So if you actually, their coaching staff was so stupid, they didn't even play Gesicki enough, one of his better weapons. So you and I are completely opposite.
I like to upgrade. I kept upgrading girlfriends until I found my wife.
Yeah, but Tua hasn't cheated on you. Tua hasn't cheated on you.
Listen, if Aaron Rodgers makes it known, or Russell Wilson and Ciara make it known, hey, I'd like to come down to South Florida.
I get it.
Are you okay with that?
I get it. I'm okay. I'm okay with Rodgers. I'm a little scared with Russell because Russell's getting up there in years and he has taken a beating. And I would be very nervous with Russell because of the beating that he has taken, and you're going to give him a big ass contract. And so that's the problem I have with all of this. What you're talking about now is giving up the cap space you have and giving up the ammo you have because you gave up on Tua, whereas I haven't given up on Tua. So I'd rather use the cap space and the ammo to actually get what you don't have. Couple linemen, go get a coaching staff, go get me a middle linebacker, go get me a wide receiver that's reliable in the draft or in free agency, and then let me see what happens with Tua. And then I'll tell you whether I think he's a failure or a success. That's the difference.
This is the ideal situation.
You've turned the page. You've turned the page. I haven't.
When you have a Joe Burrow on a rookie contract, that is so ideal.
Yep.
From a financial standpoint, when you have a Justin Herbert on as your quarterback on a rookie contract, that is so advantageous from a cap perspective. Unfortunately, Tua hasn't shown that he's either one of those guys yet.
Yeah, I know.
I hope.
How do you under these conditions?
Someone says hope is not a plan, though, right?
No, hope is not a plan. Hope is not a plan.
Would you agree that the Dolphins are hoping that Tua lives up to his draft status and improves greatly in his third season?
No, I think they're hoping they get a coach that can actually build a staff and that they fix the issues in front of him so they can have success with Tua. That's how I think they're thinking, because that's how I'm thinking. You're in the past tense, bro. You've given up. So you already think they made the mistake. So that's how your point of view is going to be from here on out. That's how you're going to write it. You're going to describe it that way. Whereas I'm open to, let's see what happens with a real coach and a real talent around him. And let me see first if he can succeed or fail.
Well, You've
already failed the kid when they failed around him.
I write and say what I believe to be going on at the moment.
But that's you're
moment.
Telling me that. But
Certainly
you're telling me that
can change. If Tua Tagovailoa, with the help of Brian Dable or Mike McDaniel or Kellen Moore or whoever, makes dramatic improvement, less turnovers, more touchdowns, more yards per attempt, then I will be happy about that. I would say that is awesome for the Dolphins.
Yeah, but you're not saying that's possible. But do you think that's possible?
Oh, obviously, I have some concerns that but I don't know. We don't know. I thought Tua was going to be a better pro than Justin Herbert. There's a reason that I'm not an NFL general manager. I'm still allowed to express my opinion, but
no, it's fine. But I'm just saying, I know it's where your opinion is. You're already turned the page, is what I'm saying, in your opinion, because you hear it, you're saying it.
I know you're a Chris Greer fan. Is this Chris Greer's last chance to pick a quarterback? Is this it? Or if Tua flunks in 2022, is he, in your opinion, going to get another chance to pick another quarterback?
No, I think you're looking at it wrong. This is his last chance to pick a coach. And then the coach has to fix the staff, who then fixes the offense and the quarterback. Has nothing to do with the quarterback. If Chris Greer fails to pick the right coach now, it will cost him, Marvin Allen, and Reggie McKenzie their jobs. I can guarantee you that. It's not the quarterback, my brother. It's the coach that you've got to fix the quarterback and the offense. So if he fails doing that, he will never get a chance again to pick another coach or another quarterback.
The last time the Dolphins picked a head coach to fix a quarterback, I was actually, on the beat. Not when the hire was made, but soon thereafter. And that didn't work out because Adam Gase was so quarterback specific. One concern that I have is if they pick a quarterback almost exclusively because they think he pick the coach, almost exclusively because they think he can fix the quarterback, is that too myopic an approach?
See, that's, again, that to me, your point of view is you're trying to fix the quarterback.
You just said it. You just said fix the quarterback.
No. I haven't said that. I said I'm fixing the offense so the quarterback can perform. I've been pretty clear on that. I'm not fixing it. You need to fix the quarterback. I don't need to fix the quarterback. The way you fix the quarterback is by fixing the offense, my brother. That's the way I view it.
An offense.
The quarterback isn't broken.
They drafted his receiver. They ran his college offense.
Joe, how do you run an offense when you can't run? Only one coach is stupid enough to run an RPO when the run isn't a threat. There's only one. His name is Camflo. Okay, I'm not even going to call him his real name. It's Camflo. Only that moron runs an RPO without running being a threat.
Well, Chris Greer passed on Jonathan Taylor.
Just let that marinate. The quarterback has to run an RPO where the run isn't a threat.
Do you think Chris Greer would like to have the Jonathan Taylor decision back? Of course. We all have decisions we would like to have back.
You think Jonathan Taylor is going to make a difference on this line?
He's he would. He would make a difference on the Dolphins.
He might end up on the IR is where he ends up. I mean, it's to think that a quarterback was going to change anything this offense does with those coaches and that line and the running game is crazy. To think that a running back is going to change anything with that line is crazy.
It never changes. It's the same discussion. My first year on the beat as a Dolphins reporter was 02 or 03, and it's like the same discussion. Yeah. Whose fault is it? Is it the GM? Is it the coach? Is it the quarterback? The offensive line isn't good enough. It's just the same conversation over and over again. Who has more power, the coach or the GM? Which one should go? Why aren't we cleaning house entirely? I want to make sure before I go, and I'm not jumping off just yet, but what was the one question that you needed to make sure to ask me?
So I unearthed over the weekend that Flo apparently had some really nasty words with Barry Jackson. No, with Barry Jackson and with Omar Kelly
and others.
And to the point like he told like you effed us and stuff like that. And he talked
Barry wrote about that.
And Barry kind of he didn't write specifics, but he kind of mentioned it a little. So I asked Omar about it, and he didn't elaborate, but he kind of said, nobody, I wasn't happy. Nobody talks to me like that. So he was very disrespectful to Omar behind the scenes. So I wanted to ask you, because I only heard about Barry and Omar having some really nasty moments with him behind the scenes. did you have a nasty moment with Brian Flores behind the scenes?
No, if I did, I would tell you.
Oh, I know you would.
Yeah, it actually disappoints me a little. Maybe
You're not
I wasn't
afraid to ask
doing
the
my
tough
job
questions.
as good as I should have. Maybe he didn't care, which is never good. And sometimes you get in a fight with your wife, and you're like, hey, if I didn't care, I wouldn't be fighting. Because you care. At least you care. So I guess maybe he didn't care that much about me. But no, he never MF'd me or hung up on me or cursed me out or pulled me over to the side. My frustration's more centered on, hey, you're not being transparent.
Right, yeah.
You're not being open. You're not being candid. You're not sharing anything. You're not helping us do our job. And I tried to, explain to some folks around him that I thought that could hurt him. And I was told that he didn't think that a lack of a relationship with folks around him could hurt him.
Right. Yeah.
He didn't think that it was important.
Yeah.
And I think that Ross felt differently.
Yeah, no, he thought about that with almost everybody in that building.
Now if he goes to
he
the
was running roughshod through that building.
He's going to get a heads up. If he goes to the Giants or the Texans, will he do what some other Belichick failures have done, which is say, all right, I tried it the Belichick way the first time and it didn't work out. Maybe now I'll sit down and have lunch with my writers. Maybe I'll sit down and have lunch with, my players, like actually try to get to know them as human beings. Because when you fail, you have this self-evaluation. What can I change? What could I have done differently? And, I think that maybe Flores, will have some humility in his second chance.
I don't. I think it's the same thing that happened to Adam Gase. If you get hired right away, you think you're not the problem. That's why they're hiring you. And so then, what I was doing was right, and I'll keep doing what I'm doing. He needs to be humbled in a big time way. So we'll find out if somebody's stupid enough to hire him, because I think he'll do the same things that he's been doing because he doesn't think that he's wrong. So I think it would be a lot more like Gase. That Gase just was, what he did in the Jets was just an extension of what he was doing here, and he'll do the same thing.
Flores has told people, and they have echoed this, that he is built different. So he thinks that he is wired different, he is built different than most of us. And he tried to impart that on his players. We are different. We're built different. And, maybe he's not.
All right, before I let you go, who's the candidate that you like the most for the Dolphins?
I mean, it's not like a slam dunk candidate. I wish there was.
For me, it's Caldwell, actually, slam dunk, but whatever.
I'd be okay with Jim Caldwell, especially if he can, retain the defensive scheme and the defensive coaches, whether it's keep Josh Boyer, promote Gerald Alexander,
or maybe get his own defensive coordinator that's proven and really good. Who knows? You know what I'm saying?
The Dolphins are, I believe, one of the few NFL teams that are not announcing when they have begun or completed interviews, which is weird because they have in the past. Like when Flores was interviewed, they announced who interviewed and when it was. So it's leading me to wonder who's interviewing that they don't want us to know, right? There's got to be a reason. If everybody else is announcing it, they want to be secret.
No, it's not that they don't want you to know. They don't want the other teams that are looking for a head coach
to know. It always gets reported. I mean, the only weird one is like
it gets reported, fine, but they don't want it. If they can keep it under wraps, I think that's what they're going to try.
They all get reported. I mean, the only one that maybe they can try to keep secret would be Harbaugh.
Right.
Look, Harbaugh's a really good coach, and he's a slam dunk as a coach. I don't want to deal with him because I find him to be frustrating and difficult and weird.
Yeah, he is. I don't think he's built for men. I think he's built for kids. I like his brother for built for men. I disagree with you. I think Jim Harbaugh is a disaster in the making. But he's
a really smart football coach. He just burns people out really fast, and that's why I can't see Ross doing it. I can't, because you're following Flores. It's got to be. You look at the list of people; these are nice people. Thomas Brown, Dan Quinn, Mike McDaniel, Kellen Moore, Vance Joseph, Brian Dable. I've met all these people. Jim Caldwell. They're all nice people.
They're all decent human beings. Yeah.
They're good human beings. And that's a nice place to start. I look forward to working with any of those folks. The Dable thing,
he's the one guy that he's the one I would hire.
What about this?
Out of the ones that don't have experience, he's the only one that I would hire.
How about this? He's got 5 Super Bowl rings with Belichick. Now, Peter King wrote this today. 8 of the 9 Belichick disciples failed to win even a single playoff game.
Yeah.
So everything I've read and heard is this guy is real. And they said the same thing. Oh, Flo's his own man. Flo's his own man. He was more like Belichick than he would like to admit.
Yes.
Maybe this guy Dable really is his own man. I think
you've met him. He's not like Flo
friendly guy.
Belichick. Yeah.
Yeah. I read Mike Reese from the Patriots said that he was hugging Patriots coaches and players after the most recent playoff game.
Yeah.
And so tells you something like, yeah, he's really got some. Yeah, but it's always different when you're a head coach, I remember Cal Van Noy said, oh, the Brian Flores head coach is different than the Brian Flores coordinator. Well, you got to be. You're the man now.
Right. You're right. You're right. But Dable, by the way, I don't know if you've been digging in this. I hear Dable's like the leader, by 8,000 miles in that building.
Well, they went and interviewed him in person.
As much as I love Caldwell, he's nowhere near Dable right now in this race. He is way ahead of everybody. That's what I'm told.
Yeah, I mean, they went and interviewed Dable in person when some of the other teams are doing it on Zoom. And I think that's a smart move by the Dolphins.
Big time.
If in fact he's, the guy that they really. I mean, listen, he's the offensive coordinator for the Bills. He's been in Miami. He's coached Tua. He's a good human being. It makes sense. He's coached for Saban and Belichick, but hopefully he really is his own guy.
Well, he also fills the box that I like. And what I didn't like about Flo is the same thing I didn't like about Philbin. They were stuck in one place their entire career, and they didn't bounce around. Dable was in the Pats, then the Jets, then the Browns, then the Dolphins, then KC, back to New England, Bama, and then the Bills. And he ends up by developing his own quarterback.
No, I know. It's Mangini, Cornell, it's other Belichick disciples he worked with.
But he meets other coaches too. So his Rolodex is a lot bigger because he's bounced around now. You know what I'm saying? So I just think he has a better chance out of the assistants. Personally, for me, I'm a Caldwell guy. But the Dable one, I kind of understand. I do understand that.
Yeah, if they make the hire, I hope that only 15% of it is because of the familiarity with Tua and what is likely a recommendation from Tua.
Okay.
I hope it's not 40% of this is Tua likes him. Flo hired Chan Gailey on Ryan Fitzpatrick's recommendation. Turns out that wasn't a terrible recommendation. Did you know that in the last 15 years, the Dolphins have finished in the top 15 of offense only 5 times? And
Gailey's won.
Twice Chan Gailey was the OC.
Yeah.
How weird is that? And
he's a good coach, dude. I've always liked him.
Years apart, totally different.
And the group he did it with the last time when he was here, go look at that talent. It's impressive that he was able to be a good offensive coordinator with those guys. He's a good coach, dude. I'm a big Chan Gailey fan. And he told them 2 years ago, he says Tua's not ready yet, and he still wanted to start him. So that's probably why Chan also left, because it's okay, well, I do my job, and I'm telling the coach that the kid's not ready yet, and he still wants to throw him out there. I can't do my job. You know what I mean? I'm sure Chan Gailey was like, dude, I'm retired. I don't need this crap. I'm out of here. You know what I mean? So I don't blame him. All right, what are you working on the Palm Beach Post? Huh?
I'll see you on Wednesday.
Yes. What are you working on the Palm Beach Post?
Today I'm working on clearing the back patio so that they can lay down the I don't know if you call it pavers or stonework or decking material.
Okay.
If I showed you my backyard, man, it is.
Yeah, but it's going to look beautiful, bro. In the end, don't worry about it. It's not now. It's the finished product after.
You know what the contractor told me today? Hey, I ran short of material. Well, how long is it going to take you to get material? You don't want to know the answer, bro.
Months. I know.
Long time.
I know. Sliding glass door took us 6 months.
I'll be swimming in training camp.
6 months to fix our sliding glass door, dude. We had to take our dogs around the house to go to the backyard to go do their business. It was just a pain in the ass, dude. So yeah. So
check me out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Shad Joe.
Right. Shad Joe, baby. And subscribe to the Palm Beach Post, please. Support Joe and all the great writers there. Joe, much love, my brother. We'll see you Wednesday. Be good.
See you, bud.
You got it. There you go. Joe Shad from the Palm Beach Post. Good stuff as always. Our American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com.
There you go. All right, let's take a very quick break. Hour number 4. It'll be an abbreviated one, but that's next. For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. For over 25 years, South Floridians have counted on Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises for their roofing needs. In South Florida, we battle the sweltering heat, rain, winds, and all kinds of tropical storms. That's why when it comes to protecting your family, home, or business, call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com. 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs. All work fully guaranteed with the customer's complete satisfaction. A+ rated member of the Better Business Bureau. Licensed and insured. There's no buts about it. When your roof needs repair or replacement, go to TommyBButtsJrEnterprises.com. A certified whitening contractor.
All right. We back, I guess. It's kind of expecting a little bit more there. Just kind of cut off like that. All right. Anyway, welcome back. Final hour of the program. I know we normally end at 1 o'clock, but you know how it is. Sometimes we can do a little extra. Over the weekend, the Bengals advanced, defeating the Raiders. The Bills defeated the Pats. By the way, did you guys see Fitzpatrick in the game? I don't know if you caught this, Sean, but Fitz was over at the game. And he was hanging out with fans, right? So here it shows he's hanging out with a fan at the Buffalo game, as you can see there, right? Now, Fitz wasn't done, okay? So Fitz not only hangs out with the crowd, but he takes it to another level, actually. So Fitz all of a sudden, you know how Bills fans can get crazy. they're tossing themselves on chairs and all that kind of stuff, right? So, and in Buffalo, in that game against New England, is cold. So Fitz became Fitz. Look at that, dude. Fitz in the Bills game. He played 4 years there in Buffalo, which was the longest tenure he ever had with any team. And so he's there with the fans taking pictures. Apparently, several fans went up to him to take a picture because they still love him over there. And the dude takes off his shirt, bro. That is awesome. You know, to take off your shirt in that cold ass weather. You got to be out of your mind. Leo V, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. He says, Tua made a lot of mistakes. He was average. It's not like we saw something amazing QB with this great arm. We saw average. So, yeah, he needs a lot of help. Yeah. And what? Quarterbacks aren't supposed to make mistakes? It's his first full year of playing, dude. I love how we hold him to a different standard than everybody else. Like, a lot of quarterbacks struggle when they start early in their careers. Peyton Manning threw like 25 interceptions his first year. Drew Brees was terrible for 3 years. Josh Allen was horrible for a year. Who cares how you look? Bottom line is you played terrible, but then you figure it out and the light goes on. And again, every quarterback needs help. What did Marino win? I hate to use this, but I got to use it. I got to use my favorite player of all time, Dan Marino. What'd you win with Dan? Nothing. Yeah, you got to the playoffs a few times. You won a couple playoff games, but you didn't win the Super Bowl. You weren't challenging for Super Bowls all the time. Why? Because he didn't have the help Jim Kelly had. And Jim didn't even win the Super Bowl thanks to a kicker. Everybody needs help. Don't kid yourselves. Mike No-Go Zones. Thank you, sir. He says, will you be attending the Bruce Dickinson spoken word show tonight in Fort Lauderdale? No, I am not. I haven't got any tickets. Maybe I'll get a ticket and go. I wonder if I can still buy a ticket. Since it wasn't music, I mean, I love Bruce. Don't get me wrong, Iron Maiden's my favorite, but no, I maybe I might decide late to go, Mike. I'll see you there. If I go, I'll send you a text. What else do we have here? Carlos says, I went to see one practice where Fitz and Rosen were on the field together. I've never seen a more glaring example of a dude who had all the moxie and one who had zero. Yeah. That's about 1,000% accurate, Carlos. Mike No-Go Zone says, if I was hairy as Fitzpatrick, I might go shirtless in the freezing cold. Dude, I'm hairy and I'm not going shirtless. No. Okay? I got plenty of hair, and I got hair to spare. And no. James Steele says, Marino's my favorite too, Big O. He's my ultimate Dolphin, man. I love Marino more than anything out there in Dolphin land, but he didn't have the help he needed either. And it was constant. No matter how many stats he put up, we'd all look at each other and go, need a running game and a defense, need a running game and a defense, need a running game and a defense. Never got the running game, never got the defense, never got the title. So it's got to be better than that. And it's not about the quarterback. It's about the damn team. And unfortunately, Shula could not put the team together. Nothing unfortunate, but still nothing. We got to build this team. The Tua is not the problem, like you said, Big O. O-line, and a running back. Why do people argue with talking facts as excuses? Because they're short-sighted, and then they look at Josh Allen, and they look at Justin Herbert, who, by the way, last time I checked, is not in the playoffs, just like the Dolphins and just like Tua. No matter how he looks out there, he still has he didn't even beat Tua. Tua beat him.
So, but anyway, good job by Fitz. Bucks dismantle the Eagles. Jalen Hurts. Woo, doggy. I love the kid, but I don't know if Jalen Hurts will ever be a good passer. He's got all the athletic ability and can run and got a great arm, but he doesn't know where it's going. I don't know if he can ever become a great passer. 49ers defeat the Cowboys 23-17. Dak Prescott with a knuckleheaded play at the end. Jimmy G wasn't anything special. But there's nothing like the Cowboys, man. They are great at disappointing. Chiefs defeat the Steelers. Thank the Lord. Mahomes with 5 touchdowns. I did not want to see Big Ben advance. Thank God the scum is out, and we don't have to see him anymore. By the way, today at 4 o'clock Eastern is the deadline for underclassmen to declare for the NFL draft. So far, they've got 94 juniors that have declared for the draft. Let me see if I see anything new on the junior front declaring for the draft. Let me see here to make sure. But so far, 94 juniors have declared. Juniors and, remember, redshirt sophomores also. Let's see. What else do we have here? Nope. Nothing new I haven't seen yet of any other underclassmen. Last year, there were like 130, I believe. This year so far, we're at 94. I think you'll hear a name or 2 or 3 or 4 drop today, I would imagine, to declare for the NFL draft. Kevin Durant sprained the MCL. He is out now 4 to 6 weeks. Kyrie Irving is also a sack of injuries. And I got to tell you something. You know, I like this Heat team to be an Eastern Conference finalist, right? I worry about the team down the line with Jimmy and Lowry, those contracts. They scare the crap out of me. I've told you. But I got to tell you, as you gather more information, as you see the team develop, and as I watch Caleb, and I watch Strus, and I watch Gabe Vincent, and I watch Yurtseven, I think that the Heat now are a championship caliber team. They're deep at guard. They're deep at forward. They're deep at bigs. Now they got 3 guys. Bam, Dedmon, and Yurtseven. And, dude, this is so typical of what would happen. Listen to me. The Heat are going to have the top seed or the second seed. All right? They're right there already. By the time Oladipo comes back, and I can already tell you that Oladipo's going to come back. Do you know why Oladipo's going to come back? Because they don't need him. They're that good that they don't need him. That's why. Now, if they were injured and all that, and they desperately needed him, I don't know how it is, but the gods would screw it up for us. You know, the basketball gods, and he would break down again, and we'd be all frustrated. Oladipo's coming back for sure now. That's crazy. This team is deep, dude. This is a championship caliber team. They can hang with Golden State. If they're healthy and full go, with or without Depot, Spo can look down that bench and he can call several people and they're willing to play defense. They got a shot, man. They got a shot. They got a better shot than anybody else in the East to take down somebody from the West, and better than the Nets, who are soft, who are constantly broken down, because Kevin Durant is also a sack of injuries. And so is Kyrie Irving. Plus, that team does not even play a fraction of the defense that the Heat can play. The Heat, all of a sudden, as this season has developed, they are not just an Eastern Conference contender. They are an NBA finalist contender and should be considered one of the favorites to win the title. That's how crazy I am about them right now. That's how much the development of these guys has helped this team out. And if they add Depot, are you kidding me? And to me, Depot's going to come back because that's just typical of how these kind of things work out, which will be great. Kyle Guy is going to get his 2-way contract now, which he signed. Now with the Heat, they got to break the carrot. Kid doesn't really bring offense. They have enough defense on the perimeter now. They'll get Depot eventually back. They'll be fine. The Garrett kid, they can rehab him, hopefully have him for next year. I mean, really, what has happened with the Heat and how it's developed, it is beautiful, dude. Like the Panthers, you knew they could be a contender right away for the Stanley Cup. You just needed to see if the goalie was going to really step up. And sure enough, Bob has. And, I mean, they dominated this weekend. But the Heat, they were a little old and all that. Now with the development of these young guys, you have to reassess the situation and look at it and say, this is a championship caliber team that the Miami Heat have. So they can build a nice cushion between them and the Nets and others now in the conference. Impressive as hell, man. Really is. All right, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 is the text line if you want to get in on the program. RVA Richmond says, Big O, cold weather means run the ball. Flo could not put it together. Passed on backs in the draft. Yep. And you will see that RVA, you will see them draft a back this time now that Flo's not here. And he also says, if Flo did all this crap I'm reading, it might be hard for him to get a job. He really didn't do Tua right. Oh, he was a disgrace when it comes to how he handled Tua. Big O, I know you love Tua, but Tua will never have an offensive line, players like he did in Alabama. You need to wake up. This is not the NFL, not college. So if you're not going to have an offensive line, then you're not going to win anything. Okay? So Marino didn't have a right side of the line or a running game and a defense, and he didn't win anything. So I guess you're right. So since you've given up on getting an offensive line, I guess no quarterback's going to win. Ask Pat Mahomes, who took a beating last year without an offensive line. So I guess why even watch, sir? Okay? So you might as well give up, dude, since you don't even expect him to get an offensive line. Big O, everyone in Miami is rude and solid gold a-holes. Customer service is non-existent. I got to tell you something. I think that you guys have to now take a little step back at that. Businesses are having trouble hiring people and keeping good employees. It's a disaster right now. It is really hard to run any business now. You have to have incredible patience now, and you have to have incredible understanding of how difficult things are right now for a lot of people in the service, hospitality business, even healthcare now. They're losing nurses and doctors left and right that they're just like, enough's enough. I'm out of here. Airlines don't have enough employees because, the stewardesses all of a sudden have to become, the mask police. And then you've got the people that just want to fight them over a mask, and it's not their fault. These are the rules. And they don't get paid enough money to put up with all this crap. It's a really, really tough situation. And to think that any of you out there could do a better job running businesses at this point in time, you're so mistaken. It's not an easy thing, man. It really is. It's really hard. I feel for business owners right now. They are struggling, man. They're struggling to find really good employees. And they want really good employees. They want to give you great service. And they're having trouble. We have to have a little more patience, a little more tolerance. We have to have a little more understanding of how difficult it is for a lot of our people all over the world, not just Americans, to run businesses right now in this climate, man. So I'm not trying to make excuses for people, but it's just a really, really hard environment right now. And I think we all have to have a little more understanding of what's going on. Wayne D. Music says, wide receivers not consistent in catching the ball nor staying healthy, but get sexy, a Waddle, 32nd rank O-line and running game. Come on. Y'all ding dorks, make some sense. Big O, you know what you're talking about. Well, thank you, Wayne. Appreciate you. Glenn says Watson's career record as a starting quarterback, 28 and 25. Watson needs support just like Tua. Team sport. Exactly. But Glenn, you're making sense. Don't tell people that Watson's record is barely over 500 because he's had a mediocre team. Don't tell people that Pat Mahomes got his ass kicked in the Super Bowl because he had no offensive line. I mean, we can't do these things. That's logic. Don't tell people that, oh, we need a quarterback that can throw it a mile long. Well, you had it. His name is Marino. What'd you win? Nothing. Why? Because he didn't have help either. Didn't have the right side of the line. Didn't have a running game. Didn't have a defense. Look what happens. You wasted a talent. You wasted a Hall of Famer. You wasted Jason Taylor, and you wasted Sam Madison and Pat Surtain and Zach Thomas and Tim Bowens. You wasted Cam Wake. You wasted Rashad Jones. You wasted Randy Starks and Paul Soliai, and we could just go on and talk about the different, pretty decent defensive players we've had through here, and you wasted them because you didn't have the team you needed. Not the quarterback, the team. Right? Because if you have Marino and you're Jimmy Johnson and you take away his pass-catching backs and Irving Fryer and the audible system and all that, then are you helping your quarterback? No, you're not. So your coach was kind of dumb in that moment. Right? So as smart as Jimmy was with Dallas, he did some stupid things with the Dolphins. It's a team thing, dude. Your coaches have to make the right decisions. They have to make the right acquisitions. They have to be able to coach the players right. They have to create the right scheme for whatever player it is. It's not a Tua thing. It's a football thing. Richard Jacob goes, oh my God, now we're talking about Hall of Famers on the same level that the kid we drafted from Alabama, number 5, who hasn't shown anything in the NFL. Richard, there you go. You're the perfect example of ignorance. Did I ever compare the talents? Did I ever say Tua was Marino? No. I say Tua's more like Breeze. But I think the conversation was that Marino's a failure because he didn't have help either. Well, did he put up stats? Is that all you want, Richard? Is that all you want? You just want stats? Win a couple games, get to the playoffs a couple times, maybe win 1 or 2 playoff games, but never win anything. Is that what you want, Richard? I'm just saying. It's not a matter of comparing Hall of Famers. I'm comparing that even a Hall of Famer can't get it done if he doesn't have help. But you listen and hear whatever you want and pull a Trumpy and go into another direction. Nobody was saying Tua is just like Marino. Nobody was comparing Tua to Marino. We were just comparing that every quarterback needs help. Whether you're Steve Bartkowski, whether you're Archie Manning, it doesn't matter. You need help. But you go ahead and go off on a tangent, Richard, and tell everybody, oh, Big O was comparing Tua to Marino. Just tell everybody that. Because that's exactly what I was saying. I was comparing the talent of Tua to the talent of Marino. That's exactly what I was doing. Perfect, bro. That's what the conversation was about, Richard Trump. Gotcha. Joseph Big O, how come every time you hit the Tua haters with football facts, their faces look like the first time they saw a grown man? Because they don't actually understand the game. That's why. Like Richard, who doesn't understand when I'm explaining that every quarterback needs help. As good as Mahomes is, he has Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and Andy Reid. As good as Montana was, he does have, Rice Taylor and Jones and and a all-pro line and all that kind of stuff. As good as Brady is, always had a defense, always had a running game, always had Belichick and a great staff. What does he have now? A great staff. He has a running game. He has a defense. He has receivers. Even with Brown and Godwin out, he still has Mike Evans and tight ends. Even Brady has help. You watch at times when Russell Wilson doesn't have help, what happens? He takes a beating. Not comparing the talents. We all know Russell Wilson has physically way more gifts than Tua. But what I'm saying is they all need help. They all die on the vine if you don't help them. But you go ahead, Mr. Jacob, or Trump, whatever you want, whatever your name is. You go ahead and change the subject and say Big O was comparing Tua to Mahomes, that he was comparing to Marino, that he was comparing him to Jim Kelly, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre. Just go tell everybody. Just tell them all that. Go ahead. Tell them, bro. Sal goes, you people are delusional. Herbert's talent gap over Tua is immense. And so, what does that mean, Sal? How do you know that he's not Matt Stafford? Matt Stafford has a ton of talent over Tua, right? Electrified arm, all that. What does he win? Jared Goff looked really good early, right? When he had Todd Gurley, everything going well. And then the crap hit the fan, and how's Jared Goff looking? So until you actually start winning games, like deep into the playoffs and all those kind of things, then maybe we'll talk. Just because, you know how many quarterbacks I can name that were failures and were way more talented than Tua, like Ryan Leaf? I mean, the Ryan Leaf snow game is one of the greatest games I've ever seen a college football quarterback ever play. I mean, you would have to go to like Vince Young or something. There's only a couple of quarterbacks I've seen in the history of college football put up better performances than Ryan Leaf in the snow for Washington State. Did it mean anything? He had all the talent in the world. Let's wait till actually it develops into winning big games in big moments. And then you can say, not only is he physically gifted, but he's a winner, a difference maker in key moments. So when those things happen, like a Joe Burrow, then you can start to really see. Because Joe Burrow, out of all the young quarterbacks the last couple of years, he's the only one so far that I would put the stamp of full approval on it. So talent doesn't mean anything. Talent is great, but it's what you can do with that talent. Sweet Baby Ray says Tua's Dolphins 9-8, no playoffs. Herbert's Chargers 9-8, no playoffs. One QB is a stigma, the other one's a hero. Just don't get it. One has much better weapons and even coaching staff than the other, and still didn't make the playoffs. I don't get it either. Jason Myers, if you build a great team around Allen, Herbert, Burrow, Mahomes, they are going to be better every time because we can't get to their level with Tua. Well, that's what you say, right? So Drew Brees is what? A scrub? What's the difference? Because he's not as talented as those guys. And he's got a title over all those guys except for Mahomes. I'm not sure what you're talking about. See, that's this guy here, Jason Myers, is another guy that's an arm queen. You're either a size queen or an arm queen. And you just think because you got a big arm and you're a big quarterback, that's it. You're going to win. Listen, this is a conversation that no one is ever going to win until the end and when it's proven one way or the other. But it's interesting how you all hold Tua to a standard you don't hold every other quarterback to. All right. What else do I have here to talk about? By the way, I'm glad Djokovic got deported from Australia. He's my favorite tennis player, but I got to admit, he's a first-class idiot. And to do this only for a vaccine, I mean, give me a break, dude. Vaccines have been a part of all our lives. Okay? You name it, we had to take vaccines to get to school. Why this is all politicized, I have no idea. Why some of you have gone to the extreme. Just get the stupid vaccine. You idiot. You could compete in the damn tournament and keep winning. The ban supposedly will last 3 years. I don't know if they'll make an adjustment here or whatever, but I know this. He got what he deserved. I got no problem with him getting banned for something stupid like a vaccine. Does nothing to you except save your life, probably. That's about it. I get it. He's an athlete, so they usually feel like even if they get it, they're going to be able to fight through it. And he already has, by the way. But he's already done it and partied with all that. You remember what he was doing a year and a half ago when everybody was inside and he was doing parties and stuff like that and got busted? So he's just acting like an idiot. Dude, just take the damn vaccine and move on. It's nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's the silliest thing that people argue about. All right. I am going to be interested to see if they do keep him out 2 more years. Now, if this whole pandemic thing continues, which, God, I'm hoping I'm not. I'm hoping this whole thing, kind of gets through it eventually and we can move on with our lives. But it'll be funny if they keep him out 2 more years. Oh, man. What a shame. What a shame. Let's see. Tua had the most pressures this year and wasn't in the top 5 in sacks. His pocket presence and quick delivery is elite. Yeah, but you still got to get a line in a running game, bro. Got to get a line in a running game. He will not survive without a line in a running game. No quarterback's going to survive without a line or a running game. The Dolphins aren't going to go anywhere without a line or a running game. That's all. All right, we thank Ira, we thank Omar, and we thank Joe Shad as always. We thank all of you out there for supporting us here on the program every single day. Please don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. We need it. And subscribe. All right, last time I checked, we were 160 away from 10,000. So help us get to 10,000 subscribers. Let's see, we're 150 away now. So we added 10 more. So we've added 30 since the show started. So let's go, man. 150 left to 10,000. That is really, really cool. All right, we will see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel. You all have a good one. Much love.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.